to me that Wu Lingxian and the Blissful Temple had hooked up then. Go on, what are the details of your plot? Wu Lingxian made an agreement with our sect master that as long as we help her clear the obstacles and ascend to the throne of the Mo Qing sect, she's willing to give up the property in her name to the Blissful Temple. The original plan was simply to assassinate the fourth elder who had been in conflict with the matriarch and make the third elder, who has been finding it hard to maintain her neutrality, suspicious of the matriarch, so that she'd then turn to Wu Lingxian and join forces with her. Ha, so she's had her eye on me for a long time. But the opportunity never came. And just when we thought that we might have to change our method, Wu Lingxian suddenly came in person to the Jiangling region and gave me the time and place to commission the Xue Lu to prepare for the assassination. Wasn't that when the Great Elder attempted to rope in the Third Elder and get her to hand me over? So it turns out that was just a side trip. Was her real purpose to notify the Blissful Temple to cause trouble? But you didn't expect the assassination to fail, and for me to have survived. Because of the urgency of the matter, I had to personally explain the situation to Wu Lingxian and discuss our next plan. Oh, I didn't expect to have a moment's carelessness and for you to catch me by surprise. Though it was a simple plan, it hit the nail on the head. It's really Wu Lingxian's plot. It's just that. The Blissful Temple is making great efforts for Wu Lingxian. What will happen when she turns her back on you? As a token of her sincerity, Wu Lingxian gave us her Jade of Pleasant Brightness jade amulet as a keepsake. Only I know where that thing is hidden, therefore, what kind of thing is this jade amulet? Can that jade artifact be used as proof of her guilt? Jade of Pleasant Brightness? Wu Lingxian actually gave that to you. However, judging from the matriarch's reaction, it seems that it can indeed be used to testify against her. I'd better ask Qing Xingzi about it later. Miss, do you still not get your situation? Do you really think you're currently in a position to negotiate? Please, don't do it. I know you want to topple Wu Lingxian, and now that I've fallen into your hands, I have no other choice. As long as you swear on your sect founder that you'll let me live after you've toppled Wu Lingxian, I'll testify on your behalf and tell you where the keepsake is. What this guy said is exactly what a panic-stricken person should have. But her tone and look were so calm and collected. She even had the leisure to analyze that once we completely find the evidence, she'll lose her value. The situation is a little weird. Hong Yin, what do you think? Sure. You Hong Yin, swear on this Mo Qing arcane command token to the sect founder Yahello that as long as Bai Yu Yin assists me in overthrowing the Great Elder, Wu Lingxian, I'll be willing to let her live. Hong Yin, I'll watch over this Taoist nun myself, and when the sect meeting begins, I'll escort her out to expose Wu Lingxian in public. The path one takes is eventually the one that one chooses for oneself, and as we gradually drift further apart, sometimes we know strangers better than the ones we're acquainted with. Xie Yin, Xingzi, I'm a little tired, take your leave. I'll excuse myself, matriarch. I'll be withdrawing, master. Sisu clearly knows that the Great Elder and her are arch-enemies, and this time she finally got the chance to get rid of her, but she doesn't seem at all happy. Is it because infighting is often the starting point for a sect's decline? Excellent, in this way, we'll obtain all the witnesses and physical evidence that is needed. Yeah, if all goes well, the matriarch can re-establish her authority. But, my lady, can that jade you were talking about really prove the collusion between the Great Elder and the Blissful Temple? My dear has been performing so well recently, and your skill has been improving at such an incredible pace that I almost forgot you were a newcomer to the world of cultivation. TL note, literally rivers and lakes, and some of the previous chapters. Itlet is land or world, and while it's not necessarily wrong, the meaning of this term is much more generic in what it recompenses, one definition being a place where a hermit lives and another a place where one operates independently from mainstream society. Very well, I'll tell you in detail about the Jade of Pleasant Brightness. This jade has one characteristic: under the continuous warmth of innate energy, it can absorb a nourishing trace of it and preserve it for 100 years without dissipating. By making it into a jade artifact, the holder can activate the innate energy contained in it in times of crisis to ward off damage. Doesn't that sound amazing? But this jade has quite a lot of inconveniences. First of all, it can only be used to ward off damage from practitioners at the acquired realm, and will hardly affect attacks coming from those at the innate realm, making it practically useless for an innate realm expert. However, only innate realm experts have enough innate energy for it to absorb. Furthermore, the absorption speed of this jade is extremely slow, and it often takes several years to reach the point where it can ward off damage. It takes way too long to produce, the result isn't any good, so basically no one wants to put the effort into making one. As far as I know, the only person in the whole sect who has racked her brains making one was Master, which she afterwards gave to me as a present. The production of these jade artifacts is extremely time-consuming, and it isn't possible to falsify the characteristics of the innate energy of the maker stored inside it. So if such a jade artifact made by the Great Elder were to be indeed found in the hands of the Blissful Temple, it will absolutely prove that both sides are rather well connected. So that's how it is. By the way, my lady, what was going on with that Bai Yuyin during the interrogation? TL note, literally to lose one's head out of fear. She was like a duck in a thunderstorm before confessing, so why did she become expressionless, as if she were a cold puppet, after she started to do so? That's the unique foundation technique of the core disciples of the Blissful Temple, the Taoist heart of Mara. It requires the deepest desires in one's heart to be transformed into Tao, while simultaneously discarding all other emotions and fixations, leaving only the Taoist heart to serve the Tao. TL note, literally the 7 emotions and 6 carnal desires. The 7 emotions are joy, anger, worry, thought, sorrow, fear, and surprise, and the 6 carnal desires are life, knowledge, verbal expression, flaunt, comfort, lust. Provided nothing in nature is enough to cause their Tao to waver, they can look upon everything completely without emotion and with absolute reason. And if their Tao is shaken, no matter what cost they must pay, they'll risk their lives to defend it. The emotions that Bai Yuyin expressed were all fake, and she was actually calmly analyzing the pros and cons in her mind. Your interrogation was successful, presumably because it touched her Taoist heart. Does that mean that Bai Yuyin is so obsessed with her beauty that she chose to give in after weighing the pros and cons? I actually didn't produce any emotions in her? You understood that pretty quickly. That's exactly so. Bai Yuyin's Tao must be the pride of a woman whose beauty has surpassed all others, and by lucky coincidence your threatening to disfigure her was a stab right at her vulnerability. At first, she didn't want to expose herself as someone from the Blissful Temple, so she naturally put on an emotional show. When she admitted her identity, there was no point in continuing the pretense. I can't believe there's a martial art like this. Wait a minute. It can't be. Xiayan, your tone is quite imposing. Even when you're alone with me, you still want to call both the Great Elder and the Second Elder. For a secret rendezvous with the 4 of us? I can't say whether the Great Elder won't slap you to death. Even if she agrees, the 3 of us will squeeze everything out of you until there's nothing left. Tonight, I'm here to take the 3 of you on. It's a fine thing to have self-confidence, but... Hey, Third Elder, what are you doing with that hand? Easy now, don't squeeze, it'll explode. You can't even hold your own with me alone, and you want to take on the 3 of us? I can hold, how could I not? A man can never say he can't hold it. Day of the sect meeting. Second Elder Yen Miling. Great Elder Wu Lingxian. Third Elder Yu Xuanji. Fourth Elder Wei Rudeo. Matriarch, all the disciples of the sect and branch representatives are present. Good. So before we begin, I have some good news for you. My direct disciple, your elder martial sister Qing Xingxi, has reached the final stage of the 9th layer of the acquired realm. If there are no mishaps, she will soon break through that realm and step into the innate realm. Xingxi, according to the sect rules, you'll be the 5th elder by then, so don't slack off and break through as soon as possible. The position of elder is only a vain title. As long as I have Master's guidance, I'll get all I could ever wish for. That's all I have to say. Next, according to the order, the Great Elder will be the first to tell us what recent affairs she wishes to inform us of. Humph, there's nothing of note on my end. Expect that my disciple Shiryener was humiliated by your personal servant Xie Yan on the challenge arena that day and has never recovered ever since. TL note, literally, unable to rise after stumbling. After all this time, she should have long stepped into the 6th layer of the acquired realm, but now she has only reached the 4th. Xie Yan, how do you intend to make up for what you did to my Yener? You're the one who aimlessly made the bet to compete in the challenge arena with me in the first place. In my opinion, Xie Yan was a complete gentleman on the ring that day, by not throwing a single punch or kick. Great Elder, don't you think you're being a little difficult on purpose? TL note, literally to make trouble without reason. I guess you have a point in this case. But why don't you take a look at what Xie Yan has been doing since he entered the sect? Enforcer Yi, report to the matriarch the final outcome of the ancestral shrine matter. Xie Yan broke into the ancestral shrine and destroyed the statue of the sect founder in the chaos. First of all, we spent nearly 3,000 silver taels to repair her statue. However, this is less important. Most importantly, several disciples in the sect were met with calamity when they were breaking through, and either ended up with disability or dementia. All this is inextricably linked to Xie Yan's destruction of the sect founder's statue and his influence on the sect's feng shui. What does it have to do with me if you guys had a bad break and something unexpected happened when you were breaking through? Is feng shui that amazing in a martial arts world? This is clearly a world of cultivation, right? Xie Yan, this is all your fault. Xie Yan, we'll bring you to justice. Xie Yan, you are using your position as personal servant to humiliate us. You've gone too far. The Great Elder only allowed Enforcer Yi to speak. When did she give you a turn? Shut up. The matter will be noted down for the time being, and the decision will be made when the final verdict is handed down. Second Elder, do you have anything to say? What I would like to say is roughly the same as that of the Great Elder and Enforcer Yi, so I will not repeat it. But I would like to make my position clear. I think the matriarch has been indeed somewhat partial towards Xie Yan lately. I have received reports from many of my disciples that Xie Yan has frequently humiliated other disciples, borrowing Qing Xingxi's and the matriarch's status and authority, hoping that the matriarch would praise him for his insight. TL note, literally the fox exploits the tiger's might. So, what I'm going to say has to do with Xie Yan as well. Only, on my side, I am not criticizing, but praising him. Before I talk about that, let me show you my recently established idol troupe, the 48 Maidens. Wow, did the sect have this many maidens before? Take a closer look. They look like they belong to the I Ching establishment of the city of Jiangling. Sister, why are you so gussied up? Why are you totally different from the last time I saw you? Whose new rouge did you put on? Or did you develop a new makeup? Sister Hua, I heard you've been promoted and became Lady Qinglian alongside Lady Qi Luo and Lady Meng Tang? It's a long story. My sisters and I of the I Ching establishment were able to become so charming thanks to one person. And that's Master Xie. Master Xie, we haven't seen you for over a month. We missed you so much. Without Master Xie, I simply have no appetite and can't sleep at night. Master Xie, when will you come back to Jiangling and give us more advice? Ladies, I'm flattered, but I just added a few touches to your original beauty. As you can all see, my newly established The 48 Maidens has already crushed the rival Yunyu County Hall in such a short period of time. We have already seized the whole market in the Jiangling region. The next step will be to expand this model to other regions. Judging by this momentum, let alone a mere 3,000 taels, even 30,000 taels or 300,000 taels can be earned. In which case, Xie Yan's contribution cannot be left unrecognized. All things considered, I believe Xie Yan's deeds outweigh his faults. So finally, Fourth Elder, what do you have to say? It's not related to Xie Yan too, is it? Even though Xie Yan is not the main character of what I'm about to say, he plays a crucial role in it. It started when I was cultivating in the cold pool and ran up against an assassination attempt by the Shui Lu. At that time, my internal energy was in disarray, and just as I was about to lose my life at their hands, Xie Yan appeared in time and saved me. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be able to stand here and speak to you today. And then, when I started to look into the whole story, I found something odd. The only people in this sect who could know about my place of practice are the matriarch and the great elder. In other words, it is only possible that one of the two of you are responsible for this. And finally, after trial and error, the one who let the cat out of the bag was you, Great Elder Wu Lingxian. TL note, literally exposed the horse feet. Let the cat out of the bag. You're spewing downright slander. TL note, literally spitting blood on someone. Since I've said this much, naturally I have enough evidence to back it up. Bring her up. This is Bai Yuyin, the maid of Bai Siyuan, elder of the Blissful Temple, which you secretly contacted a few nights ago, and I sneak attacked and brought back for interrogation. At first, she refused to confess no matter what, but later, under Xie Yan's severe torture, she recounted everything in great detail about your dealings with the Blissful Temple. Xie Yan's role in this was not only saving my life, but also getting the truth out. That tone, is the fourth elder giving you all the credit, my dear? That's true. Why would she do that? From the very beginning, your intention was to use the Blissful Temple to kill me, sow discord between the matriarch and the third elder, and win over her support. What a load of nonsense. You've said this much, but these are all one-sided remarks. There's absolutely no evidence. You're just trying to frame me. Who said there's no evidence? This is the jade amulet you handed over to the Blissful Temple as a token of your sincerity to join forces with them. All of this evidence was obtained with the help of Xie Yan and the matriarch. If it wasn't for them, I really wouldn't have been able to get my hands on them on my own. If you want to resort to sophistry, then I'll show you. Great Elder, what's your explanation for this? You didn't even want to give that jade amulet to Shiyener. Why do they have it? Lingxian, what is going on here? I don't know either. How can she have that thing? Hey, look at the Great Elder's and Second Elder's reaction. It really does seem like there's something fishy going on. Don't tell me this talk about the Great Elder colluding with the Blissful Temple is really true? What bullshit? Our master is the Great Elder of the sect. She's in charge of a branch and has always been at odds with the Blissful Temple. How can she be in league with them? But the human and material evidence are all there. Even she can't refute it. What else can you say? The Great Elder has no way of turning it around. We need to stabilize the situation now as soon as possible, or the sect will really fall into unrest. Wu Lingxian, what else do you have to say? It's totally baffling. I just can't explain this. It's time to call it a day. Enforcer Yi? Great Elder, since it's come to this, there's nothing to hide anymore. Gutsuan. Me and Lingxian have long been in love with each other, and we've made up our minds to spend our whole lives together. That jade amulet is clearly a token of love Lingxian gave me. It is the only one of its kind in the whole world. And it would never be handed over to the Blissful Temple as an emotionless prop to show sincerity. Eh? The fuck? So the Great Elder has decided to pledge marriage to Enforcer Yi? This is a tremendous revelation. Although falling in love with another person within the sect isn't forbidden, this is a little too. The matriarch had the fourth elder accuse the Great Elder of betrayal. What the hell is going on? Where did that Taoist nun and the Great Elder's jade amulet come from? I had kept a few things in my secret treasury. But a few days ago, a burglar broke into it. That person was so smart, he didn't dare to take some of my most prized possessions, so I kept my mouth shut about it. But he couldn't mask the traces he left behind in my treasury. Now that I think about it, that day Qin Shinzi came to me, she was trying to lure me away so that someone could sneak in. And that someone who infiltrated into my room was definitely you, Xiayan. Matriarch, everything that's happened today is that you're trying to slander the Great Elder. Naturally, the matriarch will certainly not admit it, but I'm afraid this is all true. Bai Yuyan, let me ask you, when and where did the Great Elder meet you? And when was that jade amulet handed over to you? And I still have a lot of other questions. We'll bring out the facts one by one right now and see who's lying. Since you wish to confront me, Bai Yuyan, go give them an honest account. Ha ha ha. Ha ha. Hong Yin, so even a bitch like you has its day? You knew that you needed more evidence to get Wu Lingxian to plead guilty, so you had me caught. Did you ever think that this would happen today? Shut the fuck up. You. My bad, on second thought, I can't have you speak out of turn. Wei Rodeo, what have you done? Seeing that the material evidence has been overturned, only the witness testimony has left, but you struck her dead? Is that so? Enforcer, you just saw your weakness, had a flash of wit and stepped forward to divert the attention from your disgraceful act. Who the devil knows if you ever sent him a token of love or not? What if this Taoist nun, in an attempt to quell her anger at her cruel interrogation, had wrongfully accused the matriarch with her nonsense? Wrongfully accused? I'm the one who's been falsely accused of something that's pure fiction. It's obvious that you silenced her to prevent her from divulging the truth, so that the guilt would be forced on me. Not only that, you actually dare to fight with me? Don't forget whose help made your martial arts possible. You're right, you played a part in my martial arts, but you have nothing to do with the subsequent moves. Is that what you've come up with? Nothing but flashy tricks. All of you, stop. Look at what has become of these disciples because of your skirmish. If I hadn't protected them in time, several of them would have been crippled if not dead. So cease this immediately. Great Elder, now that the witness is dead, there's still a lot of uncertainty left in the matter. Let's each take a step back and make a detailed investigation in the days to come. You Hong Yin, you're not the one who's been slandered, you're not the one who's had her personal relationship exposed. Don't put on that noble and saintly facade. I tried hard to persuade you out of it, but you do this to me? You're too presumptuous, Wu Lingxian. You Hong Yin, I'm superior to you in terms of seniority, I'm greater than you in terms of merit, how can you be the matriarch? It's because you always have these types of thoughts that Master didn't let you be the matriarch. All hell's breaking loose. The matriarch and the Great Elder are going at it. Run for it. If you get involved, it won't be as simple as getting hurt. We've been plotting to take Yu Hongyin down from the position of matriarch recently, but I didn't expect that Yu Hongyin would take the lead. Lingxian, I'll help you. Second Elder, the matriarch and the Great Elder have always resented each other, so why on earth do you want to join in? Let them fight to their heart's content. Or are the rumors true that you hate men, love only the same sex, and have quite the odd personal preferences? Therefore you don't want to be surrounded by the beautiful women of the sect, but prefer to secretly admire middle-aged ladies like the Great Elder? TL note, literally beautiful as a flower. This is a reference to the poem The Peony Pavilion written by Tang Xianzu during the Ming Dynasty. It's a pity that the Great Elder is really not into other women. Your litter bullshit not only damages my reputation, but it also insults my friendship with Wu Lingxian. Oh, did you get pissed off because your intimate thoughts were exposed? Phew, Wei Rodeo, your mouth really reeks of all your bullshit, so much so that I just don't know if it will continue doing so even after beating you to an inch of your life. Perfect timing, let's see whose is stronger, your extreme Yang conversion into ice-cold innate energy, or my extreme Yin transformation into flaming Yang innate energy. Oh, no! The second and fourth elders are fighting too. Run for your lives. But over there is the matriarch and the great elder. There's no way out. I didn't anticipate that Enforcer Yi would suddenly jump ship. Why did things become like this? Attention, disciples of the Mo Ching sect. You mustn't get involved in the sect conflict or stay here any longer. Each of the elders' direct disciples will take the lead and return to their respective secondary mansions in all haste. That guy, Xie Yan, is gone in a blink of an eye. He sure runs fast. Ouch. Ugh. Shiryener? Aren't you the great elder's precious disciple? Why did you end up in our group? I was planning to gather the master's disciples and evaluate, but Enforcer Yi suddenly appeared and drove me out. That Xie Yan is largely to blame for things getting to this point. Enforcer Yi? What the hell is he up to? The matriarch is no longer who she once was, nor had she ever used subterfuge to incriminate someone. Since Xie Yan's arrival, her methods have become more and more disgraceful. It must have been that brute, Xie Yan, who came up with this insidious scheme to frame the great elder. What's Enforcer Yi doing? Is he looking for trouble with Xie Yan? If it wasn't for Xie Yan, his private relationship with the great elder wouldn't have been exposed, so I reckon he bitterly hates him. Xie Yan is so arrogant and domineering that he's backed up by the matriarch that he has repeatedly humiliated many of the disciples of the sect in public. He simply couldn't be any more impudent. Will you continue to endure such a sinister villain? We can't judge who's right or wrong between the four elders and the matriarch, nor can we interfere, but this Xie Yan must be eliminated. Now, I'm going to behead the sycophantic courtier and cleanse the emperor's side. I'm going to return purity back to the Mo Ching. Now is our great chance to put that Xie Yan down. Yeah, Enforcer Yi is totally right. Behead the sycophantic courtier. Cleanse the emperor's side. Death to the dickless bastard. Let's go. It's time for Xie Yan to pay for what he's done. Master Xie, we haven't seen each other since you left Jiangling almost 10 days ago. Now that we're all together at last, why are you going away in a hurry again? Don't go, Master Xie, we'll protect you. We can simply set out for Jiangling and enjoy the pleasures of the world far away from strife from then on. Please stay where you are, ladies. Enforcer Yi, you haven't taken the disciples behind you to evaluate. Why are you blocking our way? We don't mean to stop you in the slightest. It just so happens there's one among you who we have a score to settle with. Leave Xie Yan behind, and we'll let you go. Hand over Xie Yan. Xie Yan, you son of a bitch. Why does a fucking dickless bastard like you get to boss us around all day long? Hey, if it isn't Enforcer Yi. You didn't go help your mistress and brought these disciples to target me all of a sudden. What kind of game were you playing? Fiend. Come out if you've got the balls, you fucking dickless bastard. What kind of ability is it to rely on women to protect you? Fucking eunuch. Ha, why should I do what you want when a whole bunch of you want to take advantage of the situation? TL note, literally to loot a burning house. This is the 5th stratagem of the 36 stratagems. Besides, the misses of the I Ching establishment are willing to protect me. If I refused, wouldn't I break their hearts? Master Xie is well versed in all kinds of poetry and songs. Even as a eunuch, he's a talented writer and graceful. He's also good-looking and much more charming than you repulsive cunts. Hand over Xie Yan now, you bitches. Do you think we'd give you something just because you told us to? Just who the hell do you think you are? Enough. I just took my eyes off you for a second, so how did it turn into this mess? If you're just going to cause further trouble, then get out of here. Whoa, has the third elder really lost her temper? Yeah, I haven't seen Master like this for ages. We'd better go. If we continue staying here, even if we manage to avoid getting involved in the fighting, Master will beat us to death. TL note, literally fires of war. Yi Gutsuan, as the enforcer of this sect, how can you actually think of taking revenge in such a critical time? Did the third elder forget that the sect meeting is by no means over yet? If the matriarch and the elders want to fight each other, that's their business. But punishing a wicked disciple like Xian allows no delay. What a bunch of nonsense. How can you actually think that punishing Xian is more important than the safety of the disciples, or even quelling the chaos in the sect? I think you're totally out of your mind. Humph, in my opinion, I'm more sober now than all the elders, including you, Yu Xuanji. Yi Gutsuan, you really have some nerve. Gutsuan. Wu Lingxian. You still have time to worry about others? Gutsuan. Are you okay? Third Elder, you actually hit him? Enforcer Yi openly defied his orders and didn't take me, the Third Elder, seriously, so I taught him a little lesson. But Matriarch, how could you just let the Great Elder off the hook when she made such an obvious opening just now? If I wasn't forced by the circumstances, I wouldn't want to fight her in the first place. Lingxian, I'm sorry. I wanted to help you, but I ended up giving you trouble. Gutsuan, don't talk for now. Get some rest. Yu Xuanji, look at what you've done. Didn't you hold back? That's impossible. My attack would only cause minor injuries to Enforcer Yi at most. Yu Xuanji. Then how about I give you some minor injuries too? This is a misunderstanding. Wu Lingxian, calm down a bit. Calm down? Should I calm down? No good, the Great Elder is too angry to listen. Let's join. Don't think that I'll let you. Lingxian, I'll help you. Humph, what a surprise. Third Elder, you've always been ostensibly neutral, but in reality you've been the matriarch's lapdog all along. That's not the reason. Then what is? This all started because of the matriarch. If she hadn't had Wei Rodeo find that pile of so-called evidence and tried to forcefully slander Lingxian, would she be where she is now? Besides, think about all the matriarch's actions, especially the way Wei Rodeo beat that Bai Yuyan to death. Who is it that's really got a guilty conscience here? TL note, literally has ghosts in her hearts. No more of this crap. Myling, get her. Third Elder, I won't go easy on you. What's it got to do with me? Why come after me? It's none of her business. If you want to fight, fight with me. It's almost time. Great Sect Formation, activate. The Great Sect Formation? Who activated it? Phew. Wei Rodeo, if you hadn't made a move soon, then I'd worry that the Matriarch and the Great Elder would start fighting for real. It wasn't in vain that we put on this act for so long. Now it's time for you to get a taste of your own medicine. How many people from Blissful Temple will come? I'm looking forward to it. Fourth Elder, the Great Sect Formation isn't something to be activated lightly. What are you thinking? Today's event was just a trigger. The root cause was everyone's long-standing grievances. All of this was inevitably going to erupt sooner or later, and since it's already happening, why not just activate the Great Sect Formation and let them fight to their heart's content? To put it mildly, to activate the Great Sect Formation, you need to exhaust an extremely precious energy spirit stone, and there's only one such stone in our sect. If it's damaged, it'll take a lot of time to repair. Is it really something you should use during infighting? The sect is in turmoil, and everyone's fighting for real, so if outside foes were to take advantage of the situation, without the Great Sect Formation to protect us, could you take the responsibility, Yu Xuanji? Wei Rodeo, you thought this through so well that you're worthy of praise. However, have you ever considered the possibility that the sect would be invaded by outsiders anyway when the energy spirit stone for the Great Sect Formation runs out? Third Elder, you're worrying too much. Even without the energy spirit stone, provided 3 and 8 realm experts gave it their all, the Great Sect Formation can still be activated. Is the Mo Ching sect short of 3 such practitioners by any chance? What's more, TL note, literally like the man of Qi who was haunted by the fear that the Sky Knight fall. The energy spirit stone can support the great sect formation for at least a day or two. You think we can fight for that long? Don't you see that the great sect formation has been activated, but the matriarch hasn't stopped in the least? Doesn't she know more about righteousness than you Xuanji? It has been many years since the Mo Qing sect activated the great sect formation, but it is really saddening to think that this time, it was activated for the sake of infighting. Wei Rodeo, what's the meaning of this? What do you think? I'm taking this opportunity to settle an old score with you. Don't think I'd forget about how you snatched my disciples so easily. You still recall that kind of ancient history? She's the one who insisted on coming. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't send her back. You call that wanting to send her back? You played a game of cat and mouse with her because you knew she lusted after your body. TL note, literally in order to capture, one must let loose. This is the 16th stratagem of the 36 stratagems. You Xuanji, you promiscuous slut. You won't even let your disciples off. Wei Rodeo, you psycho. Cut the bullshit. TL note, literally men or women all eat. Holy shit, I finally got rid of those girls from the I Ching establishment. It just felt like that if I stayed with them and had been just a little bit careless, I'd be beep and beep beep or even beep 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 hundreds of times. I still have urgent business to attend to. This seems to be the so-called Great Sect defensive formation. It isolates the whole Mo Qing sect from the outside world as if it were another dimension. It's truly impressive. It said that even the strongest of experts will be reduced to a mere pup if they rashly step into the great sect formation. Innate realm practitioners will turn into acquired realm ones, and acquired realm ones will turn into complete greenhorns. Now that this kind of stuff showed up, this world really feels like high fantasy. TL note, literally as good as a chicken. This is a pun on the expression as good as a bird, which means newbie. However, since in Chinese culture a chicken is viewed as worse than a bird, by saying as good as a chicken it conveys the meaning worse than a newbie. TL note, literally immortal heroes Xianxia, fictional stories featuring magic, demons, ghosts, immortals, and a great deal of Chinese folklore/mythology. Protagonists usually attempt to cultivate to immortality, seeking eternal life and the pinnacle of strength. I shot my finger of flowery swords, but saw no sign of penetration, and the formation didn't move in the slightest. Totally amazing. La. Alright, no more playing around. I'd better set my plan in motion. The matriarch and the others have been fighting up there for more than an hour, and I don't know how things are going. Eh? Chin Chinsi? Chin Chinsi coming down the mountain at a time like this is really suspicious. Will I have to sneak up on her and see what the hell she's up to? Don't be a traitor. That would be bad for my plan. Ow, my lady, don't hit my head. Damned girl. I told you to come back soon after you bought the osmanthus cake. Did you go to play in town again? I wanted to buy some rouge powder as well. Ouch, that hurts. TL note, this is probably a pun on the TV series The Charm Beneath, a Hong Kong period drama series broadcast in October 2005. Follow me back to the mountain. When the Great Sect formation activated, I waited for you left and right, but you didn't come back, so I came down to see if something had happened to you outside. Eh? Why has the Great Sect formation been activated? TL note, this is a reference to the song Millions of Kisses sung by Chen Mingjin. Master and the elders are fighting. I guess they activated it because they were afraid of being attacked by others. Ah. Oh, you got some osmanthus cake? Give me a slice. So it turns out that the reason for her going down the mountain was because of this. I didn't realize that this bitch loved her servant girl this dearly. Xie Yin, you were following me? How could that be? I was just out for a stroll, but I never thought my lady was intending to eat alone. This just won't do. A married couple should treat each other with mutual respect, you know? TL note, literally to lift the tray to eyebrow level, as in a wife lifts the food tray to eyebrow level to show great respect for her husband. Do you take me for a child? But just in time, I have something to ask you. You go back to the sect first. Right. You sent her away intentionally. My lady, you don't have any plans for me, do you? Isn't it too wild to do something like that in broad daylight? Now that Master and the elders are in a scuffle, and I have no idea what the outcome will be, I'm not in the mood for idle chit-chat with you. I've always had this feeling that there's something going on between you and Master that you've been hiding from me. My lady is indeed exceptionally smart, but is that any way to talk to your husband? Sigh. My lovely husband, unless you tell me, I'll have to use a secret nighttime technique capable of bringing great pleasure even to eunuchs. My lady, your face has become too fake. Who dares to sneak up on me? You're Qin Xingxi, Yu Hongyan's direct disciple at the 9th layer of the acquired realm, aren't you? An innate realm expert, you're Huoliangu from the Blissful Temple. What a cunning girl. She reacted so quickly, and didn't even try to match my attack, but rather used its power to get away. Phew, as one would expect from an innate realm expert, there's really a great difference between realms. Even when I used her power to escape, I still got hurt by the aftershock. TL note, literally as different as heaven and earth. Huoliangu is the trusted aide of the sect master of the Blissful Temple. Since she showed up, it's highly likely that Dang Hongchen has arrived in person too. I need to inform Master as soon as possible. That's right, Xie Yin certainly can't keep up with the speed of an innate realm expert, but seeing how unfavorable the situation was, it already wasn't easy to seize the opportunity to escape in one piece. How could I possibly ensure his life? Xie Yin is actually escaping ahead of me. Pant. Luckily, I didn't delay the slightest bit and ran like the wind back to the great sect formation straight away. Straight away? So when I was attacked, you didn't even plan to help me, and just turned tail and ran? My lady, do you think I'm stupid? If you could win, you wouldn't even need my help, but if you couldn't, you still wanted me to conveniently count on you to save me? As the old saying goes, husband and wife are just like birds of the same flock, each flies their separate ways when disaster strikes. TL note, this sentence is used to describe people who abandon their husbands or wives at a critical time, emphasizing personal selfishness. Ha, that's a good one. Next time, I'll definitely be the one to fly away first. I personally came out, but I couldn't even take down 2 youngsters at the acquired realm. That man and woman are slippery indeed. Huoliangu, you really need to change your fiery style. TL note, literally Temple Lord Master, I previously tled this as Sect Master because I thought the Blissful Temple was a sect in a sense, but now it seems that a high-rank clergy term would be more appropriate for her position. High Priestess. Blissful Temple Huang Tingxian. Blissful Temple Bao Pugu. Blissful Temple Wu Xiagu. Blissful Temple High Priestess Dang Hongchen. TL note, except for Huang Tingxian and Dang Hongchen, all the others' names end in which literally means. It's unclear whether it's part of the name like Huoliangu or if it's an honorific like Sister Huolian. If it's an honorific then, which literally means divine immortal, and Huang Tingxian might be an honorific too like diviner Huang Ting. In accordance with the original plan, we should have waited for the great sect formation to crumble, then rushed up the main peak and killed Yu Hongyan and the elders of the Mo Qing sect. But with what you did just now, those 2 youngsters will report it, so they'll be on their guard. The great sect formation has been up for so long that they are sure to be greatly weakened by their fight, so even if they know about it beforehand, there's nothing they can do about it. As for those 2, they were so lovey-dovey that they might have even had sex on the spot. It was honestly unpleasant to look at, so I couldn't help but want to dispose of them. TL note, literally 5 strains and 7 impairments. Refers to the 5 viscera heart, liver, spleen, lungs, and kidneys, and the 7 to adverse effects on one's body as a result of overeating spleen, anger liver, moisture kidney, cold lung, worry heart, wind and rain outer appearance, and fear mind. TL note, literally reverse the sky/heavens, figuratively to reverse a desperate situation. It's all right, our plan is completely foolproof anyway. Once she destroys the energy spirit stone for the great sect formation, we will be able to march straight in. As for you, who hurt yourself to stir Wu Lingxian up, stay here and recuperate. Once we slaughter Yu Hongyan and every elder of the Mo Qing, I'll put my heart and soul into attending to your wounds personally. Thank you very much, High Priestess. Mo Qing sect Wu Lingxian, you and Yin Meling can't even beat me together. Who are you to covet the matriarch's throne? What's with all this cockiness? You ended up running out of innate energy fighting it out with the both of us. Now you can only fight using plain hand-to-hand combat. Myling and I are 2, and you're only 1. I advise you to surrender as soon as possible, so we don't have to beat up your pretty face. Surrender? I think that the ones that should surrender are you two. You're actually still practicing this kind of unsophisticated fighting technique? During the time when I was recovering from my injuries, I had nothing to do and couldn't cultivate, so I practiced it a little in the event of any misfortune. I never thought I'd actually use it today. Rudeo, how are things on your end? Han Yin, even though I can't fight 2 innate experts at the same time like you, I'm more than capable of dealing with you Xuanji. You don't have to step in. Ha, all your attacks fall apart before they even reach me. Wei Rudeo, that's some bravado you got going there. You Xuanji, isn't your power getting too weak to ward off my ice-cold innate energy too? Master, elders, please stop and listen to me. Huoliangu from the Blissful Temple has just appeared. I suspect that the Blissful Temple learned about the infighting in our sect and has come to take advantage of the situation. So much so that Dang Hongchen may even have come in person too. What? The Blissful Temple? So soon? The 2 of you are definitely not a match for an innate realm expert. Qin Xinzi, you're only slightly wounded, and even Xie Yin is completely unharmed. How did you 2 manage to escape from her? Xinzi and I reacted quickly enough to spot the enemy's sneak attack and blocked it together, taking the opportunity to flee. All right, the 2 of them are quick-witted, there's no need to judge. If it was only the Blissful Temple snooping about, then it's fine. But if in the worst case, Dang Hongchen is really here, then there must be a lot of innate realm experts accompanying her. Third Elder, what's the status of the Great Sect formation? It will hold out for another day without any issues. Another day, it's not an abundant stretch of time by any means, but it's enough to make do. Everyone, we're now exhausted and seriously injured. If the Blissful Temple does indeed take the opportunity to attack, we won't be able to bear the great responsibility of maintaining the Great Sect formation. How about we stop for the time being, go back to our respective residences to retrieve healing pills, strive our hardest to recover the energy we used up until now, and then come back to maintain the Great Sect formation? What do you say? I have no problems with that. Sure. Rudeo, what about you? If you ask me, you're way too optimistic, matriarch. How much can we recover in just one day? At the time the Great Formation declines, those 5 innate realm experts from the Blissful Temple will barge in immediately, so we're definitely no match. Wei Rudeo, how do you know that the Blissful Temple has brought 5 innate realm experts? You don't sound like you're guessing, but like you're awfully sure. Sigh, I got so tired fighting you that my mind went into a trance, and at the last moment, I even exposed myself. But I purposely kept one last trace of my innate energy. Rudeo, what are you doing? The traitor was actually Wei Rudeo. Never in a million times would I have ever thought it would be you. Now that the energy spirit stone is destroyed, the Great Sect formation will automatically shut off. If you have any last words, you'd better say them now. Wei Rudeo, I just want to know. You're already an elder of a sect. What could the Blissful Temple possibly offer you for you to betray the Mo Ching sect? Preposterous. Dang Hongchen. Allow me to tell you the reason you will die. Wei Rudeo is originally someone from the Blissful Temple. That being so, how could this talk of betrayal be valid? She's been lurking in your sect for over a decade, and now, it's time for her to return. She sure did an awesome job as an undercover agent. If she had stayed undercover, she might have even got the chance to become the matriarch. Xie Yin, you're still in the mood to crack jokes? Rudeo, you were actually from the Blissful Temple from the very beginning? If the fourth elder has truly been someone from the Blissful Temple all this time, then their scheme was way too intricate. Huh? What's Xie Yin doing? Xie Yin, what are you doing? Shakes head. Rudeo, so when you said the Blissful Temple hired the Shui Lu to assassinate you, that was something I arranged. I originally wanted Wu Lingxian to think you were the mastermind, but I didn't expect that Xie Yin would disrupt my scheme. So I went along with it, since ultimately the goal was all about having you massacre one another. Finger of Nirvana. So that's how it is, but you've lived here since you were a child. Even if you were a mole sent by the Blissful Temple, your relationship with the Mo Ching sect should definitely be far greater. How could you betray us? Why would you even need to? What could the Blissful Temple give you? Now that things have come to this point, there's nothing more to say. Matriarch, the Mo Ching sect will come to an end today. So you really don't have any feelings for me, or for the whole sect? Was it because this Xie Yin offended you that made you have the heart to betray us? I'm fine, go help the others. It's my turn. Finger of Nirvana. I do indeed find that Xie Yin disagreeable, but it has nothing to do with him. If it wasn't Xie Yin, did Dang Hongchen promise you something? Or blackmail you into making such a decision? Yu Hong Yin, you're full of nonsense. No. You're trying to stall for time to sneakily recover your power. Dang Hongchen, you're pushing me too far. There's something wrong with Master. Don't make me drag you to hell with me. Yu Hong Yin, oh, Yu Hong Yin, you still have this much power after your fight. I must say I somewhat underestimated you, but it's a pity that this time you're powerless to reverse the situation. Drag her to hell with you? You're really full of yourself. You're nothing more than a cornered beast. In the throes of its last-ditch struggle. I want to fight such a weak Yu Hong Yin too. Huoliangu, go have some fun with our beloved Yu Hong Yin, master of the Great Yu sect. Yes. I'm good, go help the Great Elder. So soon? I certainly can't count on you for everything. Yu Xuanji, you want to make one last-ditch struggle too? You people from the Blissful Temple dropped in to kill us, am I not even allowed to put up a fight? Huang Tingxian, go get rid of her. Yes. Good, very good indeed. Villains die because they talk too much. Just give me some more time. Eh? I'm the dignified Great Elder of the Mo Ching sect. I have no need for the help of a snot-nosed punk like you. Then the second elder. Holy crap. You all made your own preparations? Something isn't right. All of you, go all out. Too late. Yu Hong Yin, you fully recovered your power? What do you think? It's not just the matriarch who's fully recovered. We'll be in charge of restarting the formation. Leave the people of the Blissful Temple to the matriarch. Did you ask me if you could restart the formation? Blissful Buddhist body. Die. Beautiful girls have spirits most divine, and when set ablaze, a previously unseen being soars. Demonic birth of the divine body. TL note, This line is the beginning of chapter 26, The Beautiful Girl and the Yellow Flower of the Book of Changes, Kinship of the Three, written by Wei Boyong during the so-called Eastern or later Han Dynasty, an early Taoist classic, deemed to be the earliest book on alchemy in China. This part of the book metaphorically expresses the chemical reaction between mercury and sulfur to produce cinnabar. This line is literally beautiful girls on the river, are spirits most divine, when fire makes them fly, and unseen dust emerges. The beautiful girls on the river is a metaphor for mercury liquid. Later in the poem it says that he doesn't know from where or how it appeared, but it seems to have been created because of the yellow flowers, a metaphor for sulfur. In all, this line can be figuratively worded as mercury is volatile, but when sulfur is added and warmed to high temperatures, it turns to cinnabar. However, the author went with the literal interpretation here, so I had to get creative. Whoa, holy shit! A Taoist immortal scuffle. My dear my lady, don't take me by surprise. You scared the death out of me. You're hiding really far away. You're no better than me, my lady. Didn't you come over to hide too? Humph. So the reason I was wondering why Dang Honchin's martial arts felt so lackluster was because it was a feint. She has long since fled. Great sect formation, reactivate. I ask the three of you to maintain the great sect formation, leave the blissful temple party to me. Hurry, matriarch. Whilst the great sect formation is active, their party's strength will be suppressed by at least half. This is the once-lifetime opportunity to wipe them all out that we've been waiting for. If you don't go after them and let them run away, because of all this nonsense you're spouting, you won't deserve to be the matriarch. Just go, matriarch, and leave the great sect formation to us. Rest assured, great elder. They can't escape their doom this time. When I saw the matriarch and the elders fighting each other before, I thought I had seen the full power of an innate realm expert. It wasn't until I saw the fight between the matriarch and the high priestess that I realized that I was just seeing the tip of the iceberg. But compared to this, am I really that unworthy of the elders' trust? You all recovered your power before I even took action. As the saying goes, always be wary of others. How could we of the Mo Ching sect put our lives in somebody else's hands? Only by having a hidden trump card up your sleeve can you walk with confidence. However, your finger of nirvana is truly wondrous. Although I was prepared for it, I only thought I'd recover by about 60% to 70%. I never expected I'd completely recover with a single use. Xie Yin really has a godly healing technique. Strange, when did he learn such a magical martial art? Could he really be a secret pawn that Master has kept hidden? Xie Yin, you're so young, yet you're in the possession of such a unique skill. I want you more and more. Ha ha ha, you greatly flatter me. Fuck, one of those 48 bitches is already enough to deal with, now it's a 1,000-year-old vixen. This is really too much. Xie Yin, how much longer are you going to fool around here? The second elder and I are very busy concentrating on healing ourselves and maintaining the great sect formation. If you don't have anything better to do, go take a hike somewhere else. Don't wander around back and forth, it's an eyesore. In that case, I'll be taking my leave. It seems that the great elder is venting her anger at me because she was fooled by her sweetheart and can't vent anywhere else. Menopausal women who've had their hearts broken are really not to be trifled with. Gotta slip away. With the protection of the Great Formation, the sect is very safe now. Do you want to go out for a stroll with me, my lady? No thanks, you'd better go by yourself. I'm going to stay here to guard the elders. Suit yourself. Even though the sect meeting was just an act, the relationship between Xie Yin and the Great Elder doesn't seem to have improved in the least. Xie Yin, come play with me when you're free. Things on the Great Elder's side are fairly normal, but when did Xie Yin get so close to the Third Elder? How many bites did the Third Elder sneak in when I was only halfway through? Third Elder, there's something that's been puzzling me. I wonder if you could dispel my confusion. Speak your mind. I noticed that everyone seems to have been prepared for the Blissful Temple's assault. And since you just had a conversation with Cian, I'd like to know if Cian and the elders, or the third elder, made any plans. Well, to explain it, let me start from the night before the meeting. That night, Cian came to me and asked me to secretly invite the great elder and the second elder to discuss something very important with us. He said that Wei Rudeo was very likely the mole from the Blissful Temple, and that at the sect meeting tomorrow, she was bound to stir up a storm and trigger a riot. So, Cian already knew that the fourth elder, Wei Rudeo, was a traitor. He didn't dare say he was certain, and couldn't even provide any evidence. Then what? He just asked us to keep an eye on Wei Rudeo's behavior. If we found something amiss, pretend we didn't know, and if infighting really broke out and we conserved some of our power, maybe we could even give the Blissful Temple a taste of their own medicine and get to catch them like sitting ducks. Why wouldn't we do it when there were only benefits and no drawbacks? That bastard, Cian. He actually didn't drop me a single hint about such a big deal. Come on, you Xuanji, don't make such a big deal out of Cian. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while. He just had a stroke of good luck. I really had never thought of Wei Rudeo as a traitor before, but her performance at the meeting was ridiculous. Even without Cian's advance notice, I could still perceive something was wrong and would never have fought with the matriarch seriously. Whether there was a Cian or not, it wouldn't affect my judgment. I'm not so sure about that, Great Elder. The abode of immortal soul rejuvenation pill is difficult to refine, and once it has been, it must be taken within 12 hours or its effect will be lost. Would you usually prepare such a thing? In addition, although the second elder's primordial heavenly energy nurturing technique is powerful, the necessary preparations are immense. You must have spent 2 to 4 hours before the meeting to get everything properly ready, no doubt. Like I said, if there was no Cian, I absolutely wouldn't have been tricked into fighting with the matriarch. I don't owe Cian anything. Yes, you don't owe Cian anything. But without his warning, we certainly wouldn't have had the chance to scoop them all up in one go. If we hadn't gone those lengths to keep Wei Rudeo in the dark, she wouldn't have fallen for it, and if she hadn't attempted to bring down the great sect formation, how could we give her a taste of her own medicine? So that's how it is. Shinzi, let me tell you one more thing. Cian isn't a eunuch? Haven't you milked such a fine man many times before? Do you want to give him to me so I can have a taste? Please conduct yourself, third elder. How does the third elder know that Cian isn't castrated? Could it be? Cian, you bastard, just you wait until I get my revenge on you later. The fight over at the matriarch's side is really lively. I wonder how the battle is progressing. I'd better go check it out. In case something goes wrong, I'll still need to use those goons from the Shui Lu. Origin points obtained anger, 0.01 points Yigutsuin. Origin points obtained anger, 0.01 points Yigutsuin. Origin points obtained anger, 0.01 points Yigutsuin. Huh? What the hell? Why did Yigutsuin start spamming me all of a sudden? Wait a minute. 0.01 points, that guy is close by. Huh? What a strong repulsive force. Shit, I was attacked by surprise. It was so powerful that divine impact of Zen almost broke apart. It must have been Yigutsuin. Just as I was baffled why I was being spammed. This motherfucking bully even takes pleasure in sneak attacking others. I'll put on an act and take him by surprise too. Apparently, that odd body protection technique isn't exactly the heavenly guard, but it can actually reflect part of my power. This punk really can't be allowed to live. It's a pity your cultivation realm is so low. No amount of body protection techniques can save you. I knew that the Blissful Temple's plan had mostly failed when I saw the Great Sect formation reactivate. I wanted to take flight in all haste, but I got really pissed off when I caught sight of a bastard like you. I may never get to quench my hatred without killing you. May you be reborn into a good family on your journey to hell. Don't be such a dick in your next life. Your mother is the one who's a dick. Cian, you're still too green. You thought I didn't know you could use the finger of flowery swords? Long have I been taking precautions against you. Did you think I didn't know you knew I could use the finger of flowery swords? What do you mean? Bending and turning as one pleases? Impossible. Fuck. Hemostasis by acupoints. You guessed it, but sadly there's no prize. Now, the one who should fucking die is you. I just didn't anticipate you could actually practice the finger of flowery swords to that level. Do you really think you can kill me with that kind of power? As one would expect from an expert at the 9th layer of the acquired realm. It's surprising that he can use an attack to neutralize my sword energy. It's a good thing I mounted a sneak attack beforehand. Steps back. Sigh, Cian, I admit I underestimated you. Just as the mountains never change and the water ever flows, there'll be ample time for that later. TL note, literally, the blue mountains never change, the green water forever flows. This is part of an expression used to indicate that the relationship between two parties will never change and how they'll inevitably meet again. This is a very elaborate way to say goodbye, and it's seldom used in China these days. The end of the expression is we're sure to meet again. Is that guy running away? That Cian is too abnormal. I can't keep messing around with him. I'd better run for my life. Ugh, fuck. Hemostasis by acupoints. Fuck. Fuck. That motherfucking Cian. Oh, and here I thought my attack didn't do shit to you, but it looks like you've got quite the serious problem now. Did I cripple your leg? You can't run now, can you? Don't you know what asking for trouble means? It's not that easy to run. When you can't beat them. No good, I'm having trouble with my legs right now. I'd only be a live target, get hit by his finger of flowery swords, and wouldn't be able to escape. I'll beat him to death and then run. He was fine when I punched him a moment ago, but I don't believe he'll be fine every time. It's that repulsive force again. What the hell kind of martial art is this? I've never heard of a heavenly guard that can reflect attacks. And why is its defense so much stronger? Divine impact of Zen. Crushing flood dragon punch. Ha ha ha. Your so-called reflection is just an injury for an injury. Then let's see if I break your defense and kill you first, or if you kill me first by reflecting my attacks. Wow, it looks like you've got more than just brawn. You've got some brains too, Enforcer Yi. But I can heal myself, can you? Finger of Nirvana. Alas, I really have no idea what the Great Elder saw in you. You're so ugly. But the most important thing is that even if you're hard or not, you'd have no strength left after doing it twice. It would definitely be most unfortunate if the Great Elder ended lip marrying you. Cian, you am a what now? You think I'm talking about something you can't get hard? I'm talking about your fists. Or what, you're really no good down there. Do you realize just how much of an asshole you are? No one tried to stop you when you wanted to run away, yet you just had to come after me. Hey! I'm this pissed off because of you. You're not going anywhere today, Yi Gutsuin. For long range, he's got the finger of flowery swords. For close range, he's got a completely unreasonable heavenly guard, and he even has a self-healing martial art of unknown origin. Why has this guy suddenly become so hard to deal with? Damn it, I wish I'd just run away in the first place. The three elders of the Mo Ching sect are maintaining the Great Formation, and the matriarch of that sect is hunting down the High Priestess and her people, so no one would have taken notice of my whereabouts. Why on earth did I have to mess with this Xian? Now it's neither a fight nor an escape. No, if I keep dragging this out, I won't have enough time to escape. I've got to get this over with. I have to gather all my power. Whether I live or die all depends on this punch. You want to hurt my husband? Go to hell. Ching, Chingzi, you flicking bitch. Hey, she beat the wind out of you, but you still have the strength to curse at my wife? Sever. My lady, you didn't keep the elders company and came to me. It looks like you were worried sick about me. Indeed. I've missed you both so much. My dear's little thing is so lively and spirited. You're not a eunuch indeed. Ahem, I wonder how things are going over where the matriarch is at. We certainly can't allow the people from the blissful temple to escape. Judging by the situation of the battlefield, they were all stopped by Master and didn't escape from the Great Formation. Then let's go and have a look, maybe we can help the matriarch. Wait a minute. Hold on. Yi Gutsuan may be unconscious, but what if he wakes up midway and flees? As a powerhouse at the 9th layer of the acquired realm, let alone with his 2 remaining arms, he can even drag himself with his thingamabob. Why don't you just cut off his rod, my dear? Why don't you just smash his dantian and cripple his cultivation, my lady? Dang Hongchen, you are my master's peer and have led the blissful temple's fight against the Mo Ching sect for many years. I'll allow you to choose the way you'll die. Yu Hongyan, I'm well aware you're an indecisive person, short on wisdom and lacking in virtue. Such an extremely risky plan, where just one small moment of carelessness would have made you lose the whole game, is not something your feeble brain could have ever come up with. It's as you say. I don't have the resourcefulness for underhanded trickery, nor do I have the influence to sway the elders of the sect. TL note, literally turn the hand and its clouds, cover the palm and its rain. Even my late master said that I was only gifted enough in martial arts, and that my ability to manage the sect was no more than average. All I've got is the ability to judge other people's characters, that's all. There is an exceedingly bright member in my sect that I found and nurtured to make up for my shortcomings. Master is talking about you, my dear. I'm somewhat jealous that she values you so highly. Sisyu, who's usually a cute and adorable little fool, really has the aura of a sect master when it counts. I've always been jealous of you. Why does the Mo Ching sect always get all the outstanding talents? You're clearly just a youngster, TL note, literally like a tiger that has grown wings. But your progress in martial arts is already comparable to mine, and now that you have a think tank, you're even more of a menace, however. The past generations of incredible talents of the Mo Ching sect are often short-lived. Whether it be your master or the Wentingyan of old, none of them have lived beyond the age of 40. Yu Hongyan, you can't change this fate. I'll go first. And wait for you in hell. Rudeo, although you are an undercover agent, you've been in the Mo Ching sect since you were a child for more than 10 years. I don't believe you really have any affection for the blissful temple. Although you and I have had less contact in recent years, we had been best friends practicing martial arts together since we were young. TL note, literally exchange handkerchiefs. Handkerchiefs refer to female friends who are close and have strong friendships. It is the equivalent of a best friend. In China's upper-class society, homosexuality usually occurs among women, mainly in the form of spiritual love, such as between a young lady and her handmaid, between friends of noble women, etc. For the sake of expressing their feelings. The two women who like each other usually become sworn sisters, and their profound friendship becomes known as a handkerchief friendship. Why didn't you reveal your identity? If you had told me, surely I could have helped. As long as you sincerely repent, I'll persuade the other elders to spare your life. Humans are emotional creatures. How could I not know who is good to me? TL note, literally people are not grass or trees. This line means that people have thoughts and feelings and are easily impressed by external things, unlike grass or trees, which are inanimate and emotionless. Hong Yin, there are some things you aren't aware of. More than 10 years ago, Dang Hongchen conducted a program in which rather gifted young boys and girls were selected and secretly sent to various major sects to become disciples. Most of these children were discovered, but only I, who was sent to the Mo Ching sect, managed to stay undercover and took the opportunity to assume the position as an elder when the sect was in turmoil over the sect master's succession. But because of this, Dang Hongchen saw me as a trump card to destroy the Mo Ching sect. When all is said and done, it's nothing more than to do something not of one's own free will. Hong Yin, don't forgive me. How can the crime of treason be forgiven so easily? Otherwise, you'll have a hard time convincing the masses. Purple blood, you took poison? I took the 7 flowers and 5 herbs mystical nether powder. It's impossible to save me now. I originally thought that after the fall of the Mo Ching sect, I'd atone for my sins with my life, so I took the poison in advance. Hong Yin, I've deliberately alienated you all these years, and sometimes even stood on the great elder's side. Did I make things difficult for you? No, not at all. Just occasionally, I cursed you a few times for being a little bitch. It looks like you won't get the chance to curse at me anymore later. When I go to my grave, I'll curse at you the same way. Ha, Hong Yin, you really need to change your nature of not saying what you think. TL note, literally one's nature of mouth not matching heart. Can the finger of Nirvana save her? Probably, just maybe. It can. But just as she said herself, for Sisu's sake, she can't live. Do you have something on your mind? Let's go. It's not good to gather around and watch Master's private affairs. But, Xie Yin. 4th Elder, do you have anything else to say? Xie Yin, step down. Rudeo doesn't have much time left. Don't disturb her. Actually, the 4th Elder has left something out from her disclosure. Anyone who dispatches a mole must have some means of keeping it from betraying them, otherwise, the 4th Elder would have changed sides long ago of her own volition. TL note, literally to renounce the dark and seek the light. I just don't want the 4th Elder to leave any regrets. Oh, so it's you, Xie Yin. There's nothing I can hide from you. Just how smart are you? It's quite simple. My little brother was in Dang Hongchen's hands. If I didn't obey Dang Hongchen, his life wouldn't be guaranteed. When my brother and I parted, he was still very young, so he doesn't even remember he has a sister like me, and now that Dang Hongchen is dead, no one in the blissful temple knows who he is. Hong Yin, promise me, don't let him know that he has as a sister, lest he be heartbroken. I won't. I promise you. When the poison of 7 flowers and 5 herbs mystical nether powder comes into effect, it will be exceptionally painful as it decays my internal organs. Hong Yin, I'd like you to end all of this for me. Then. Farewell. Help me, Lingxian. I was wrong. It is all my fault. Gutsuin. I don't know if you approached me, a middle-aged woman, from the heart or for another purpose. But I will always remember those days you were by my side. So, may we never see each other again in this life. Lingxian, forgive me. The high priestess of the blissful temple and her party were all annihilated, and the Mo Ching sect were overwhelmingly victorious. It seems we don't need to do anything. Pack up. Commander, did you gather so many of our men today just to watch the battle? That was the order of the Earth Guardian, there's no doubt about it. The blissful temple lost so miserably, the Earth Guardian sure has some means. That Earth Guardian guy, if I can't afford to anger him, then I can at least try to avoid him, right? I'd better stay at a respectful distance. The people from Shui Lu were lying in wait outside the mountain. I thought they wanted to profit from our misfortune, but they just left. Little Hong Yin managed to finish off Dang Hongqing nicely, and here I thought that at the last moment I'd have to push my weary old body to the utmost. This is fine as well. My old bones certainly can't stand much action. And that Xiaoyan isn't that bad either. The Mo Qing sect has no lack of worthy successors. After the news of the death of the 5 and 8 realm experts of the Blissful Temple, including the High Priestess Dang Hongchen, the sect was in total chaos, and the master of the Yunyu County Hall, Bai Suyuan, promptly returned to temporarily assume the role as High Priestess and bring the situation under control. Although there are only about 3 and 8 realm experts left in the Blissful Temple, the great sect formation is completely intact and there is no longer any fear of invasion by outside foes. We're but a shadow of our former selves and can only cower in a corner, not daring to talk about expansion. From then on, the lowest ranking of the 9 great demonic sects in the Han Empire was no longer the Mo Qing sect and was replaced by the Blissful Temple, which originally ranked 6th. Mo Qing sect. In the past few days, Qin Xinxi has been requesting that I spar with her. For someone as chaste as myself, I was initially going to decline. However, Qin Xinxi solemnly swore that she would never extract my life force again and would instead use the mutually beneficial union of yin and yang technique. I reluctantly gave it a try in order to uncover the truth. As it turns out, she didn't lie to me, but for me who practices martial arts with the use of origin points, the benefits of this method are limited. Not to mention that as the sparring gets more serious, whoever attacks more aggressively will reap more benefits. Sigh, and I must say, Qin Xinxi is truly fond of throwing her weight around, since she fought using her full might. She totally treated me as a punching bag. A single sparring session with you is better than half a month of plain cultivation. I must say, ever since your visit to Jiangling to practice the finger of flowery swords, you've sure become quite powerful. Not only did you get the junior disciples of the I Ching establishment as your loyal fans, but also got real close with the third elder. And even your relationship with Master has grown increasingly intimate. You must be joking, my lady. The matriarch and I have just an ordinary master and servant relationship and nothing more. Is that so? Master is more inclined to trust you than Wei Rudeo, whom she knew since childhood. Is this also part of your so-called ordinary master and servant relationship? And here I was thinking what my lady could be thinking about, but it turned out to be this. In fact, when I first said that I was suspicious of Wei Rudeo, the matriarch was a bit angry. However, upon further consideration, Wei Rudeo always brought us some good news whenever we were at a loss. That Bai Yuyin in particular came at just the perfect time. Wasn't this all rather a bit too good to be true? Plus, think about what I did that day, my lady. I just informed the elders in advance that there might be trouble at the sect meeting and raised their vigilance. If Wei Rudeo was indeed a traitor, then the 3 elders, as I warned them, would inevitably prepare to strike back at the final moment, just as it happened that day. If not, then we would proceed with the plan to bring down the Great Elder. Ultimately, our goal would be to weaken the Great Elder's influence, without getting our own hands dirty. At the time the human and material evidence were conclusive, the Great Elder's whole group would have fallen into disgrace, and she would be unable to reverse the situation with her power alone. If that's the case, then it's not surprising that Master believed in you. My lady, are you trying to give a small reward for my wise husband, of course. Can't I? Yes, of course, you can. It's just that I'm the one who's going to be rewarding you, no. The next day. Xia Yan. Which of Wei Rudeo's holdings remains undistributed? Let's see, there's still the Huawan house in the city of Yan and the branch in the city of Chufeng unassigned. TL note, Flower Retreat House. Flick, last night I sparred with Qin Xinxi more than 10 times. I'm exhausted. Today is an important meeting to decide the distribution of the holdings left behind by Wei Rudeo. Why did I almost fall asleep? Yet, Qin Xinxi didn't even come for such an important meeting, so it seems that she also had a hard time last night. He sighed, Qin Xinxi, oh, Qin Xinxi, now do you know who's tougher? Since these are the only 2 left, then, I'm not interested in the Huawan house, and am the only one worthy of taking the branch in the city of Chufeng. Who's for it, and who's against it? TL note, rice and salt. Give her the Huawan house in the city of Yen? Second elder, you haven't asked for my approval yet. So, supposing we give you the Huawan house in the city of Yen, you will withdraw your claim for the branch in the city of Chifeng? Why would I withdraw? I remember when the crowd from the Blissful Temple came to our sect to kill us, only the matriarch and I fought them. You two just hid in the back and powered the great sect formation. I was seriously injured while fighting, so the Huawan house should be my reward. As for the branch, it's naturally part of my share too. Oh, you fought, so you should be rewarded, and who will make amends for my honor and innocence being tarnished? A few days ago, they were like comrades fighting against the same enemy. Now, in the blink of an eye, they're having a huge squabble over the profit sharing. What a bunch of old foxes. All of you, stop squabbling. Great Elder, I know how to make up for your losses. Third Elder, I haven't forgotten your service during the battle. In my opinion, the Huawan house should be assigned to the Third Elder, while the Great Elder can choose 5 highly qualified disciples to gradually further their training. What do the elders think? I have nothing to say. I suppose that's fair enough. I find it acceptable. As matriarch, I not only hunted down the people of the Blissful Temple, but am also presiding over the general trend of this meeting on your behalf. With all that's been going on, I haven't gotten much for myself. Therefore, I'll take the branch in the city of Chifeng. No wonder the matriarch kept giving out stuff to others in the first half of the meeting, but got nothing for herself. So she was eyeing the last and most profitable property. What a clever strategy. But it seems that the elders were expecting this. No problem. I'm perfectly content with the Huawan house, so I'll let you take over the branch. When the sect was in chaos, the matriarch was the one whose plans and efforts were the greatest. Naturally, the matriarch tops the list for who's entitled to take the branch. Moreover, I'll send both my disciple Shi Yener and Meiling's disciple Ji Changwu to the city of Chifeng to assist the new branch master in taking office. TL note, literally the only one who stands at the turtle head. Explanation, to come first in Triennial Palace examinations refers to the carved stone turtle head in front of the Imperial Palace, next to which the most successful candidate in the Imperial examinations was entitled to stand. I thank the elders for their kindness. What assistance? I think it's just for the sake of keeping a close eye on things. Now that you've all gotten your share, and this meeting has come to an end, it's my turn at last. My personal servant, Xie Yan, also played a considerable role in this incident. All the elders got what they wanted, but Xie Yan hasn't got his due reward yet. Matriarch, I don't have any lofty ambitions. Besides, seeing that the elders have already got their share of the property, it would be inappropriate for me to poke my nose in. Why don't you allow me to choose another martial art from the Sutra Pavilion? I'm not interested in property or anything of that matter, so it would be better for me to get some more martial arts at the Sutra Pavilion again. Hold your horses. Before we give Xie Yan any rewards, there's an old score I'd like to settle with you. Before the meeting, Xie Yan hadn't achieved a single feat and could only at most learn some ordinary acquired realm martial arts. But the matriarch handed him the finger of flowery swords, which I think is highly unorthodox. What do you mean by that, Great Elder? Could it be that you're looking to condemn me? I wouldn't dare. But rules are rules, after all. If even the sect master doesn't follow them, how can she convince the masses? That's not true, Great Elder. The matriarch has always been very strict. Oh? When do you think I found out about Wei Rudeo's ploy? It was after I discovered it that the matriarch granted me with the finger of flowery swords. Don't mistake the relation of what happened before and afterwards, Great Elder. That's nonsense. Hey. If you say I'm talking nonsense, then take out the evidence. If there's none, then you're the one who's talking nonsense. Consider the finger of flowery swords as your reward. Other martial arts shall not be mentioned again. Dang. She's shooting her own feet. This old fox. TL note, literally lift a rock only to drop it on one's own feet. Snickers. All right. Xie Yin, as the saying goes, don't bite off more than you can chew. The finger of flowery swords is enough for you to practice. You shouldn't waste time with other techniques. Wait until you've advanced to the innate realm, then consider other martial arts. I have a system that can fuse martial arts, so I'm not afraid of biting off more than I can chew, no matter how much you give me. Since the branch in the city of Chufeng now belongs to me, you have no authority to question who I appoint as its branch master. That's only natural. In that case, I will grant the position of branch master to Xie Yan. You want me to be the branch master? The matriarch has forced me to do something way beyond my ability, so I'm thankful for the great elder and the second elder not turning their back on me, and having elder martial brother Chan Wu and junior martial sister Yinner to come assist me. TL note, literally to drive a duck onto a perch. I've heard that elder martial brother Chan Wu is familiar with the branch in the city of Chufeng. Is there anything you can tell me about it? Second elder's disciple Ji Chan Wu. Just call me by my full name. I've been appointed by my master to assist Branch Master Xie, and as one of your subordinates, I can't accept being addressed as Elder Martial Brother. Very well, I'll call you Chan Wu. Chan Wu, tell me about the city of Chufeng. This guy, I deliberately expressed goodwill, but he didn't even take it. It seems he's not a simple character either. Yes, the city of Chufeng is quite uneventful to say the least. Chufeng is located in the Jiangnan administrative region of the Han Empire. The mines there produce a special type of cold iron used to forge magic weaponry, and for a long time, this industry has been secretly controlled by the local power Great River Alliance. Great River Alliance Sphere of Influence. Chufeng. The Great River Alliance is an alliance composed of factions from 7 or 8 small cities near Chufeng. While it is ranked low among the prestigious houses of the Han Empire, it controls the waterways under the constraints imposed by the imperial court, and as a local bigwig, it is not to be belittled. Just a few years ago, Wei Rudeo had a conflict with a leader of the Great River Alliance for some unknown reason, justifiably injured him, and opened a branch in Chufeng. Since then, the sect elders used their personal connections to establish contact with important members of the imperial court, forcibly snap the city of Chufeng from the Great River Alliance's clutches, and get a portion of the cold iron or mining rights. Thanks to Wei Rudeo's governance, our sect's Chufeng branch has greatly solidified its place, and all the big and small powers in the city have adopted a fawning attitude towards us. I reckon Branch Master Xia will get a lot of courtesy from the small powers when you take up office. TL note, literally as steady as Mount Tai. Is that so? I don't really care if I get any courtesies or not. But now that Wei Rudeo is dead and I'm taking her place as Branch Master, are you sure I'll manage to do so smoothly, Chan Wu? No matter how weak the Great River Alliance is, it shouldn't take much effort to take down a martial artist like me who's not even reached the innate realm, right? You're worrying too much, Branch Master Xie. They can't afford to mess with the Mo Qing sect. Otherwise, the sect master wouldn't feel comfortable assigning you to the city of Chufeng. I see, but I'm still a little uneasy about the Great River Alliance, so you'll have to keep a close eye on them for me, Chan Gu. Although the matriarch wouldn't put me in harm's way, the more cards I have, the better. The Shui Lu could have been of help. But that old fox, Heaven 3, seems to be deliberately avoiding me, and I wasn't able to get in touch with him before I left, otherwise I wouldn't rely on this Ji Chan Gu. I'll do as the branch master wishes. Elder Martial Brother Ji, from now on, I'll deeply appreciate you running errands for me. After all, this guy may look simple-mindedly loyal with impeccable conduct, but it's hard to tell loyalty from deception. If I had received any negative emotions from him, I wouldn't have dared to leave him by my side. Sure, Yinner is much easier to get along with. She's so simple that as long as I don't piss her off, everything will be fine. A few days later, city of Chufeng. Lakeside Flowing Water Pavilion. Branch Master, these two are the local Huixing money shop bankers Yao and the Chang'e clan's head Wu. The China clan controls most of the inns and taverns in the city of Chifeng, and the flowing water pavilion is the property of Head Wu. I've long heard of young Lord Xie's distinguished name, but now that I've met you today, I see your reputation is truly well-deserved. You deeply flatter me. In my opinion, with young Lord Xie's talents, I'm afraid that the 5 beauties and 4 princes in the Han Empire will soon become the 5 beauties and 5 princes. These are the local Huafang Madam Hao and the gambling house's manager Fang. TL note, literally flower brothel boat yacht. TL note, madam as in a woman who ruins a brothel. Long have we heard of young Master Xie's outstanding noble and handsome appearance and natural talent. And seeing you today, I see that you're truly most remarkable. You're too kind. The way these guys are treating me is not so much sucking up, but more like pandering. Changwu, didn't you say these people would be full of courtesies? But all they did was say some nice words and nothing else whatsoever. I don't suppose the Mo Ching sect will have to pay for this meal, will it? Branch Master, the conduct of these guys is a bit subtle. But I'm just a newcomer here, so I don't have a clear grasp of the situation. I only know that they weren't like this when Wei Rudeo was in power. It looks like the situation in the city of Chifeng isn't that stable either. But that's good, because if it were too stable, it'd be no fun. Branch Master, I'll investigate them after the feast. Yeah, go check them out. By the way, Changwu, that thing they were talking about just now, the 5 emphases and 4 points of beauty, Pu. The 5 beauties and 4 princes, what's it about? TL note, this is a reference to the requirements for revolutionary culture. The 5 emphases are emphasis on decorum, manners, hygiene, discipline, and morals. The 4 points of beauty are beauty of the mind, language, behavior, and the environment. The Branch Master is actually unaware? The 5 beauties and 4 princes hail from the various sects of the Han Empire, and are the most prominent of the young generation in the Han Empire, all of them with cultivation at the 9th layer of the acquired realm. It can be said that these 9 people will shape the destiny of the martial arts world in the Han Empire for decades to come. In addition, among them, the Branch Master's wife, Elder Martial Sister Qing Xingxi, is known as the Magical Dignified Beauty, Mo Qing Sect, the Magical Dignified Beauty Qing Xingxi. The Magical Dignified Beauty? It turns out Qing Xingxi is really famous. Sounds about right. Qing Xingxi's body is indeed as springy as a konjac. TL note, konjac is an herb that grows in parts of Asia. It's known for its starchy corm, a tuber-like part of the stem that grows underground. The corm is used to make a rich source of soluble dietary fiber. Konjac is used as a gelatin substitute and to thicken or add texture to foods. It's also used in traditional Chinese medicine. In the Western world, konjac is best known as a dietary supplement for weight loss and cholesterol management. Huh? Isn't that Mr. Yenner of the Mo Qing sect? Elder Martial Brother Changwu, the water lilies here are beautiful. Junior Martial Sister Yenner has never seen a water lily before, so I suppose she's very excited to see one for the first time. I was wondering where she'd gone, so she went to pick up water lilies. Don't think about it, that girl looks quite pretty this way. A poem should be recited at a time like this. Huh? It's the gentle dignified prince, Ji Yuntao. That woman with the mask on, I heard that the divine dignified beauty recently came to the city of Chifeng with the gentle dignified prince. She must be the divine dignified beauty Xie Dao Yun. It's the gentle dignified prince. It's my most beloved gentle dignified prince. I can't believe I'm seeing him in person. How embarrassing, he'll find out I'm infatuated with him. Here you go, a very beautiful water lily. That'll do it, right? Thank you for your gift, miss. I like it very much. The beautiful and young girl from a humble home parts the cold water on her magnolia boat. The lotus flowers reflect her looks, and their leaves by her fragrance dyed. Holding a lotus flower in her hand, to the gentleman she offers it, wishing to wear a beautiful dress made from them. TL note, this poem Plucking Lotuses was written by Xiao Yi, one of the emperors during the Liang dynasty, though the author altered a few things. I gift you this poem as a token of appreciation from my humble self. Oh, you're too kind, young Lord G. The poem was very lovely, and I liked it very much. I'm glad you like it. Forgive my rudeness, but may I know your name? My name is Shi Yin'er, and I'm the last direct disciple of the great elder of the Mo Qing sect. That's the gentle, dignified prince, Ji Yuntao? That guy's style is similar to mine, as the main character. The most annoying thing is when there's a character clash. But compared to Ji Yuntao, that masked woman Xia Daoyun seems to attract me more. Not the kind of attraction between male and female, but rather a dim feeling that there's something about her that's calling out to me. Young Lord G, what brings you here today? Young Lord G, greetings, fellow seniors. Young Lord G, I haven't seen you for a few days, young Lord G. You look even more elegant than ever. I heard that my fellow seniors would be gathered here with the newly appointed Xufeng branchmaster from the Mo Qing sect, so I came along with junior martial sister Xie to pay my respects. You were looking for me? This is young Lord Xie, the new master of the Xufeng branch from the Mo Qing sect. Who is this? Forgive me for my lack of courtesy. But I didn't come here to meet Branchmaster Xie, but to ask my fellow seniors for a favor. Young Lord G, you actually have a favor to ask of us? Why don't you tell us about your request, young Lord G? As the contemporary chief disciple of the Taishan sect, something that even he can't do likely won't be simple. Let me listen to what he has to say first, but if it's too dangerous, it'd be best to pass it up. Not long ago, the chief disciple of the Dezheng sect, Yin Jie, murdered his master, massacred his entire sect, and fled the martial arts world. TL note, literally great righteousness. As you all know, the Dezheng sect is a subordinate sect of the Buddhist Qingjai, so if something happens to it, the Buddhist Qingjai will naturally take care of it, and junior martial sister Xia will take charge. Yin Jie was originally an exceptional prodigy of the Dezheng sect who had a bright future ahead of him. Unfortunately, somewhere along the line, he got a fragment of the mantra of the 6 demonic desires, an esoteric demonic sect technique. As a result, his temperament drastically changed, and he embraced the so-called method of cutting off one's worldly attachments to advance to the innate realm, massacring his entire sect. It is truly tragic and despicable. Yin Jie is at the 9th layer of the acquired realm, and combined with his demonic power boost, he will be very difficult to deal with. However, a few days ago, he was intercepted by junior martial sister Xie, and his whereabouts are unknown after he escaped with serious injuries. And now we've ascertained that he's in the city of Xufeng. Demonic cultivator, Yin Jie? He betrayed his sect? And he's here in Xufeng? Does young Lord Ji wish for our aid? But we can't get caught up in this mess. TL note, literally can't flow into this muddy water. TL note, literally the will is there, but not the strength. I'm just a simple brothel keeper. I'd be more than happy to help with all this fighting and killing, but I lack the power to do so. It's strange that Ji Yuntao, being of the Taishan sect, is getting involved in the affairs of the Buddhist Qingjai. It seems the rumors were right, that Ji Yuntao is indeed wooing Xia Daoyun. My fellow seniors, you worry too much. Naturally, I'm not asking you to confront Yin Jie head-on. Putting people who have nothing to do with it in harm's way is something that I, Yuntao, would feel beneath my dignity. I'm not afraid of that punk, but I fear that with his notoriously wicked temperament, he'll prey on my disciples. Young Lord Ji and Lady Xia have been in Xufeng for a few days now. Could this Yin Jie have already left? Naturally not. Junior martial sister Xia left some devices on him to vaguely determine his location. His whereabouts have remained basically unchanged for the past few days. Yin Jie is badly wounded, so he won't easily change his hiding place, and he's hiding behind a human face mask, thinking he can conceal his identity from us by some lucky fluke. TL note, literally human skin mask. Although it's called a human skin mask, it's actually a mask made of paper that looks like a human face. These masks are so realistic that when someone puts one on, people can't tell it's fake. From what young Lord G said, you've already found out where Yan Jie is hiding. Since we aren't required to partake in the plan to surround and kill him, it seems we're not needed, right? Oh, no matter what plan Ji Yuntao has, we need to stop him from getting us involved in the killing of Yan Jie. Junior Marshal Sister Xie could only determine his general location, but since Yan Jie is wearing a human face mask, we can't pinpoint it accurately. It is impossible for Yan Jie to avoid the fact that your businesses cover almost everything related to food, clothing, housing, and transportation in the city of Chifeng. I need information on the movement of people in all your respective businesses over the past half-month. With this information, coupled with Junior Marshal Sister Xia's senses, I'm sure we can find Yan Jie in this vast sea of people. No problem, it's but a trifling matter. It's my honor to help you, young Lord Ji. That's easy. If Yan Jie visited the Huafang, there must be a record of it. This Yan Jie is a most heinous villain. We're duty-bound to do our part. So he just wanted information. I can do this kind of favor. TL note, literally one's sense of honor makes it impossible to refuse. Then I thank you all on behalf of Junior Marshal Sister Xie. Having brought this up, that demon, Yan Jie, was born into a righteous sect, and has always been taught the principles of benevolence, righteousness, propriety, wisdom, and faith. If he hadn't been led astray by the demonic sect's wickedness, would he have committed such an utterly unconscionable crime that would make anyone have the right to duly punish him? Ji Yuntao, this is a banquet for the branch master of our sect. What do you mean by demon and demonic sect's wickedness? Are you looking down on our Mo Ching sect? Ji Yuntao was indeed insinuating. I knew he was being cleverly sarcastic as soon as he opened his mouth, but why is Ji Changwu being so impulsive? He's not acting as smoothly as he did before. And judging by their names, they're not related, are they? TL note, literally holding sand in the mouth and shooting it at a shadow. TL note, literally an old yin and yang teacher. Refers to someone who is proficient or experienced at speaking eccentrically or who can answer someone with ingenious remarks. Yan Jie is a brutal savage. If he's not a demon, then who is? However, even though he's a demon, that he has nothing to do with the Mo Ching sect is something I and Junior Marshal Sister Xian know very well. Changwu, you don't need to be so sensitive. Ji Yuntao, don't pretend you're innocent. Couldn't you go find these seniors anytime? Why did you only come now and took no notice of the branch master? Are you insulting our sect? This Ji Changwu looks as if he's defending the dignity of the Mo Ching sect, but he's actually trying to force me to call Ji Yuntao out. I don't like Ji Yuntao either, and I was going to criticize him a little bit, but Ji Changwu jumped out on his own, so now it's a different story. Changwu, you're thinking too much. It was just more convenient to meet them all here. Besides, there's a difference between righteousness and demonicness, so we can't ask a demonic sect to capture a demon. That's why we didn't want to bother Branch Master Xie. That's not true, Brother Yuntao. Yan Jie is a brutal savage who betrayed his master and went against his ancestral teachings. Such a person wouldn't be tolerated by my sect either, so I don't see any issue with apprehending a guy like that. Brother Yuntao, you wouldn't think that the demon you used to characterize Yan Jie and the demon in my sect's name are one and the same, would you? TL note, the MC is making a contrast between the character Mo demon in his sect's name Mo Ching demonic love and the Mo demon in the word Motu RS demon / evildoer Yuntao used to call Yan Jie a demon. I'd be glad to hear your thoughts. Our sect is an illustrious sect recognized by the imperial court. If every such sect had people just like Yan Jie, who are capable of incurring the greatest popular indignation, and give anyone the right to duly punish them, wouldn't that mean that the imperial court is blind? Brother Yuntao, what's your opinion? It's just as Branch Master Xie said. This Xie Yan is kind of interesting. In today's world, the illustrious sects recognized by the Han imperial court regard less of whether they're righteous or demonic, just have different philosophies. The so-called righteous and demonic sects aren't a distinction between good and evil. Righteousness is the way of honesty, meaning that the righteous techniques are pure and long established, just like a grand, straightforward path, most ideal for those who steadily train. TL note, literally, to keep to the working routine. Alternative, to do something in an orderly manner. Figuratively, to keep to the conventional ways. While demonicness is the way of mystery, meaning that the demonic techniques are magnificent and magical, just like going out on a limb through steep, bumpy, and treacherous mountain peaks, but by blazing a new trail, one might find a way to climb to the top and get an awe-inspiring bird's-eye view at the very summit. TL note, literally, the sword moves with a side stroke, martial arts, to use a sword with fast, flexible, and unexpected movements, figuratively, to break the normal procedure and find a new or different solution in order. To be unexpected and novel. TL note, literally see all the smaller mountains down below with a single gaze. Last line the poem Gazing into the Distance from the Summit of Mount Tide by Tang Dynasty poet Du Fu. So if any of you gentlemen are unable to achieve any results with normal cultivation, you can come have a try at the Mo Ching sect. That's an interesting way of putting it. I'd expect nothing else from a branch master, always eager to attract new disciples. However, even though demonic techniques make it possible to find a different way of doing things, there are often unexpected costs or circumstances that can easily cause people to dramatically change their nature. In fact, Yin Jie is a living example. Junior Martial Sister Xie, you don't like to be persistently in contact with people from demonic sects, so you must be very tired of this trip, right? Not to the point of boredom, but after examining this branch master Xie carefully, I realized that Elder Martial Sister Xinzi really admires beautiful things. This Xie Daoyun didn't say anything the whole time, but as soon as she did, she mentioned Qin Xinzi. Do they know each other? Junior Martial Sister Xie, let's be on our way. Gentlemen, Junior Martial Sister Xie, and I'll be quietly waiting for good tidings at the Penglai Inn. Young Lord Ji and Lady Xie, take care. Young Lord Ji left so soon. Young Lord Ji is gone, but we still have Branch Master Xie. He, exactly. Our new Branch Master is quite good-looking too. Even that Xie Daiyun briefly praised his beauty. Who do you think is better looking, the new Branch Master or Young Lord Ji? Young Lord Ji. Branch Master Xie. Apart from that Xie Daiyun being very cold, I was unable to perceive anything else about her, and that Ji Yuntao is polite on the surface, but underneath he shouldn't be a simple man. That they didn't come earlier or afterwards to meet these local notables, but came exactly when they were holding the welcome bacquet for me, do they take me for a fool? 1 hour later, Branch Master Xie, we'll be taking our leave now, as the situation with Yan Jie may take an unexpected turn at any time. A villain like Yan Jie can't be allowed to stay in the city of Xufeng. The sooner young Lord Ji finishes him off, the better. That's understandable, you guys can go about your business. These bigwigs of the city of Xufeng are somewhat devious. I don't need you here, go back first. Changwu and I have something to discuss. Yes. Young Lord Ji, you seem to like water lilies, so I picked some more. Eh? Where's young Lord Ji? You've been picking water lilies for an hour, they've already left. I'm going to see young Lord Ji off. That girl, Shiyiner, has obsession for Ji Yuntao written all over her face, whatever will come next. Branch Master Xie, this Ji Yuntao from the Taishian sect doesn't give a damn about our sect. I really stand idly by and watch. Oh. The demonic cultivator, Yan Jie, isn't to be underestimated, so in my view, maybe we can use him to bring Ji Yuntao down a peg? Ji Wuchang, you're quite pleased with yourself, aren't you? Pleased with myself? I'm not sure what the branch master means. The dignity of our sect isn't to be humiliated lightly, so you thought that if you jumped out on your own and pointed out Ji Yuntao's insinuations, I would have to shed all pretense of cordiality with him, didn't you? Branch master? Protecting the dignity of the Mo Ching sect is what I should be doing as branch master. but I prefer not to be taken advantage of. I don't care what kind of grudge you have against Ji Yuntao. The next time you want to use me, you better think about whether you have the right to do so or not. As an insignificant pawn, where did you get the impression that you were a chess player, huh? Tell me, what's going on? Don't say you have nothing to do with Ji Yuntao. Please forgive me, Branch Master. I do have a relationship with Ji Yuntao. Ji Yuntao and I belong to the same family, the Ji family in Jiangnan. He's my cousin. Ji Yuntao is a very arrogant guy, and the family members his age aren't fond of him. Anyway, the two of us have never been on good terms, so to keep him out of my sight, I simply ran away from home, joined the Mo Ching sect, and seldom return. TL note, literally what the eye doesn't see, the heart doesn't grieve over. Arrogant? Aren't fond of him? Actually, they're just losers who are jealous of Mr. Perfect. In my past life, there were many losers who said I was arrogant too. TL note, literally tall, rich, and handsome internet slang. I don't know what possessed me. I'm already a disciple of the Mo Ching sect, but I'm still dwelling on the past, even trying to use the sect to suppress Ji Yuntao. I have committed a grave sin, Branch Master. Please punish me. That's the way. I like to hear the truth. Finger of Nirvana. Heals. Branch Master, I healed your face, but the same mistake isn't to happen again. Do you hear me? Thank you, Branch Master. I'll never do it again. Okay, tell me about the relationship between Xie Daoyun and Ji Yuntao. The capture of Yin Jie is Xie Daoyun's business, but Ji Yuntao is actively participating as a disciple of the Taishan sect. Don't tell me they're having an affair. It's a long story, so I'll start with the Buddhist Xinjai, which Xie Daoyun belongs to. The Buddhist Xinjai is the oldest sect in the Han Empire, rumored to possess a 1,000-year-old inheritance. The reason why the Buddhist Xinjai has lasted through the ages is that, in addition to its own inheritance of mysterious skills, it has the support of someone else. Legend has it that every 100 years, a reincarnated saint from the primordial god star will appear in the Han Empire, who will lead the way in unifying the righteous and the demonic. And every 100 years, the Buddhist Xinjai will assign a descendant to seek this reincarnated individual. TL note, literally purple rose star Z way star. From Wiki, in the astrological world, purple is a majestic color related to spiritual aspiration. Astrologers observing the skies noticed that among the many stars, only one stayed seemingly stationary while the rest revolved around it. This star was thus named the Purple Rose Emperor Star, known better in the West as the North Star. Purple Rose is a metaphor for the Jade Emperor, the primordial god. For more information, Google Purple Star Astrology. Xie Daoyun is the descendant of this generation. Xie Daoyun has traveled around the world with many young talents, and Ji Yuntao is the one who has spent the most time with her. Many believe that Ji Yuntao is the reincarnation of this generation. However, I believe that this claim was mostly spread by Ji Yuntao himself for the purpose of courting Xie Daoyun. Oh? So did Ji Yuntao ever get to court Xie Daoyun? I don't think so. No matter how outstanding Ji Yuntao is, Xie Daoyun has already seen many who are just like him. Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't think they were behaving very intimately, so I guess they're just friends. All right. No more gossip. I'm somewhat interested in what Ji Yuntao said today. Keep an eye on those local big shots, and pay special attention to when Ji Yuntao and the others will attack Yin Jie. Understood. I'll get right on it. I can't wait to see it. How much talent does Ji Yuntao truly have in comparison to his reputation? 2 days later. It turns out that Yin Jie has been hiding in Head Wu's Rujian, disguised as a traveling merchant. This guy really knows how to conceal his presence, since he hasn't left Xufeng for so many days. The surrounding population has been dispersed, right? Don't worry, Yin Jie is the only one left in this vicinity besides us. So what if Yin Jie's martial arts are great? Not as much as a peep happens in Xufeng without me knowing. Come on, if Ji Yuntao hadn't given you 3 suspicious locations to investigate, would you even know where Yan Jia was hiding? Then Yan Jia wouldn't have been found without me. Ooh, if Head Wu is so tough, why didn't you go ahead and capture Yan Jia with your own hands? Manager Fong must be joking. Finding Yan Jia's location was just a way to please Ji Yuntao. Whether it's the Taishan sect, the Buddhist Xingjai, or the Mo Qing sect, they're all outsiders to us. And since they're outsiders, what's the rush to help? We just need to maintain our relationship. That's exactly right. Now, we just have to stand aside and watch the show. Oh? You have a show going on, yet you didn't even call me? It's just the capture of Yan Jia. What's there to see? And if we're going to talk about something to look at, wouldn't it be much better to look at Branchmaster Xie? If it was just someone as insignificant as Yan Jia, there'd be really nothing to see. But the moon tonight is nice. Yan Jia, it's pointless to hide any longer. Come out. Ji Yuntao, you're really just like a ghost that refuses to leave. You're going to all this trouble for that bitch Xie Daoyun? How rude, but since you're about to die, I'll let you indulge yourself for a while. Huh? Someone's locking me with their spiritual power. Wait. It's not coming from Ji Yuntao's direction, it's coming from the sky. A clear sword intent untouched by worldly affairs. It's Xie Daoyun's celestial intuition sword technique. But if I got away from you once, I'll get away again. Is that the mantra of the 6 demonic desires? I wonder if it can match the Buddhist Xingjai's martial art, the celestial intuition sword technique. It's said that the mantra of the 6 demonic desires is an esoteric technique from the 2nd demonic sect, the XINMO sect, and even though it's incomplete, you can still feel its barrenness. The so-called 6 desires seeing, hearing, smelling, speaking, touching, and thinking are human survival instincts themselves. Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body. And the purpose of the mantra of the 6 demonic desires is to hone one's will by continuously confronting these 6 desires. Ultimately, one can cut off and even control these 6 desires and let one's spirit transcend the mundane. Mantra of the 6 demonic desires. Desire for smell. Those who've successfully practiced the mantra of the 6 demonic desires can control other people's 6 desires so that they can't see, hear, smell, speak, feel, or think. Desire for taste. Mantra of the 6 demonic desires. Desire for touch. And those who completely master it can even manifest their 6 desires just like now. However, it's still not as good as Xie Daoyun's astounding sword technique. TL note, literally banished immortal that came down to earth. The mantra of the 6 demonic desires can control other people's 5 senses and even materialize one's own 6 desires to attack enemies. If it was me who had to capture Yan Jia, I'm afraid I'd not necessarily be a match for him. The so-called 5 beauties and 4 princes are really quite powerful. Moreover, I feel that she's attracting me again. Xie Daoyun, one day I'll figure out the secret behind the thing around your neck. It seems that while I was tirelessly healing my wounds, Xie Daoyun's power has improved further. It's unfortunate that the mantra of the 6 demonic desires I've learned is incomplete. Without the desire to think mantra, I can't put up a good fight against her sword attacks. And if I were to just turn around and flee? Under the celestial intuition sword technique spiritual lock, there is no way for me to dodge, hide, or live. Only when I get rid of the spiritual lock can I use that move. Seeing, touching, hearing, smelling, speaking. 5 desires combination illusory body. Yan Jia has already practiced the 5 desires combination illusory body. No wonder he was able to escape from Xie Daoyun before. The so-called 6 desires are actually related to the 6 mortal forms and can be considered as an integral part of the foundation of human beings. And if you can completely control the 6 desires, you can give birth to a body from your own mind and live anew. If you can control 5 of the 6 desires, you'll be able to detach from your own being to create an illusory body that can break free from the spiritual lock. It's truly unfathomable. Oh, no. It looks like Yin Jie is going to run away again. Ji Yuntao, it's time for you to take action. It's really unpleasant to use this move, since it's more painful than just taking a sword blow from her. But at least I can save my life with it, so it's better than nothing. Ji Yuntao, oh, Ji Yuntao, regardless of how brilliant you are, you never imagined I'd be able to practice the 5 desires combination illusory body, right? The 2 of you won't be enough to kill me today. This is the true heavenly mantra of the primordial god? I've kept you waiting, Junior Martial Sister Xie. Taishan Sect Esoteric Technique True Heavenly Mantra of the Primordial God. Ah! What's going on? This is the Taishan Sect's True Heavenly Mantra of the Primordial God. Ugh! It's that Ji Yuntao. His true heavenly mantra of the primordial god can spiritually suppress its victims. It's a devious technique designed to subdue demonic practitioners. Demons and monsters have nowhere to hide. I never thought that Ji Yuntao had already practiced the true heavenly mantra of the primordial god. My death was inevitable. Ji Yuntao was so formidable that my legs are still shaking. Xie Daoyun isn't far behind. She swiftly locked Yan Jie's real body once more and cut him down with her sword. Both of them are especially gifted. Fortunately, we haven't offended them with our usual niceties. Branchmaster, are you all right? I'm fine. That illusion had some of the power of those during the battle between the matriarch and the high priestess of the blissful temple. Is Ji Yuntao really only at the 9th layer of the acquired realm? If I hadn't leaned against the railing, I'd have been humiliated. The divine impact of Zen was completely unresponsive. I'm pretty much powerless to resist such an attack at the spiritual level. Branchmaster, the true heavenly mantra of the primordial god can be restrained and released at will. It won't affect the innocent under control. That bastard Ji Yuntao must have done it on purpose. He's trying to hammer us. Ji Changwu is still trying to incite me with his remarks, but he's right. Ji Yuntao was deliberately trying to intimidate everyone, including me, with the intensity of that move. I've always been benevolent to others, but I'm not so honest that I'd greet someone with a broad smile who's dropped in to bully me. My apologies, everyone, but I'm new to the true heavenly mantra of the primordial god, and I lost the hang of it for a short while, so it affected those of you who were uninvolved. Not at all. Young Lord Ji fought very well. As expected of young Lord Ji. The damage is much less than I anticipated. It's young Lord Ji, after all. Young Lord Ji. Brother Yuntao is truly amazing. In terms of martial arts, you're able to vanquish vile fiends with a flick of your hand, and in terms of writing, you're able to pin down romance. I'm able to pin down romance. What does Branchmaster Xie mean by that? Don't try to hide it, Brother Yuntao. When I was in Jiangling, I had the pleasure of reading a few of Deja Vu's romance novels. Isn't there a rumor on the streets that this Deja Vu is Brother Yuntao? I've long admired your striking literary talent. I've heard about this Deja Vu who writes romance novels. There's indeed a rumor that Deja Vu is Ji Yuntao from the Taishan sect. Young Lord Ji absolutely hates it when people mention this rumor. Is Branchmaster Xie from the Mo Qing sect trying to pick a fight with him? Origin points obtained anger, 0.01 points Ji Yuntao. Branchmaster Xie, there's no need to discuss these hearsay rumors. What Junior Martial Sister Xie said is very true. You overexerted your mind using the celestial intuition sword technique tonight, so why do we have to take trouble discussing this further? I'd rather see you off early to get some rest. Thank you for your trouble, Elder Martial Brother Ji. We'll take our leave, gentlemen. I won't bother to see you off. A few days later. After the last sour parting, neither any local factions nor Ji Yuntao have made any moves. The branch is being managed neatly with Ji Changwu's help. I underestimated him before, but without Ji Changwu's help, I wouldn't have figured out the situation of the branch so quickly. Damn it, his power has gone up again. He's good at everything, but is too obsessed with Ji Yuntao. If Ji Yuntao had a system, he would probably receive origin points from Ji Changwu 24 hours a day. Ji Changwei can be useful, but if I want to completely bring him under control, Ji Yuntao can't be a hurdle for him to stride over. Shuyiner is Ji Yuntao's fangirl and runs over to his residence every day. Luckily, she's not in charge of the branch, otherwise she would have sent all the forces in Kafong out to win Ji Yuntao's favor. Love makes women dumb. Shuyiner has completely forgot that she was sent by the Great Elder to keep me in balance. Casting aside these two inner worries, the situation isn't optimistic by any stretch. The attitude of the local factions is neither hostile nor friendly, and they have always been respectful toward me, with no obvious intention to oppose me, but they're no longer as obedient as they were when Wei Rudeo presided over them. It won't be long before the annual Jiangnan meeting where every year they divide up the proceeds. In the past, the largest share in Xufeng has gone to the Mo Qing sect, but I'm afraid this year Ji Yuntao and Xie Daoyun have been staying in Xufeng all this time, and I don't know what their purpose is. The city of Xufeng appears to be calm and peaceful, but in reality, there's rather a bit of sense of movement brewing in the background. TL note, literally the breeze is still and the waves are quiet. TL note, literally undercurrent of turbulence. This part of the sentence was probably used to make a contrast with the previous one. There's really no quick way to overcome the situation for a while. Might isn't equal to people after all. Since there's nothing else to do right now, I'd better go to another small world and harvest some suckers. System level, LV2. Name, Cian. Realm, acquired realm 6th layer. Skill mastery, expand. Origin points, 747.68,761 number of times you've entered another realm. 3 cooldown has ended. It's really slow to gather origin points in the main world. I've only gone up about 400 points since returning from the world of Kun Xiong, and it's not nearly enough to upgrade the Finger of Flowery Swords to level 4. The random world finder has found the world of Tonglings. To travel to this world, 500 origin points will be spent. TL note, literally communicating with spirits. 500? Why did it go up so much? It was only 50 origin points before. Activating the realm travel function. Calculating route, do you wish to travel to the discovered world of Tongling? System, what's going on? This is extortion. Activating the realm travel function. Calculating route, shit, not answering me back, you're being awfully reserved. If I exclude the possibility of the system inflating prices from the previous rounds of traveling, the more origin points spent, the higher the level of the world. Being 500 origin points now indicates that the world of Tongling is much more difficult, and the more difficult it is, the higher the profit I can get, but the greater the consequent risk, but I can always choose to return, so at most I'll go bankrupt, but not die. I'm in. 500 origin points have been used, realm travel function activated. World of Tongling, the only son of the Xie group Xie Yin. Soul replacement succeeded. Oh, look at this outfit, a modern world setting, is it? Then rumor has it that the little girl's resentment has lingered on that doll and never faded away. But what's this all about? Was the original owner having some kind of ghost story rally with this bunch? Yet anyone unlucky enough to see that cursed doll will be hanged without fail. The cursed doll may be prowling our neighborhood right now, looking for its next victim. The performance was pompous, the dialogue was dull, the plot was cliched, and the story was terribly told. Thank goodness it was the original owner listening. Memory import, starting. Let's see who the me in this world is first. TL note, literally attractiveness index online. This means that someone looks good despite their clothes, hairstyle, and so on. In other words, when someone's attractiveness index isn't online, it usually means that either they aren't good looking or that they're handsome but don't look as good as they usually do. TL note, literally second generation rich, children of entrepreneurs who became wealthy under Deng Xiaoping's economic reforms in the SOS. TL notes, literally single dog. Person who's neither married nor in a relationship used self-deprecatingly. TL note, literally eternal. The original owner is a good-looking child of a nouveau riche family. Both his parents are abroad. He lives alone, is actually quite modest, though not very good at socializing, and a pure and single as fuck virgin whose handsomeness is wasted on him. He doesn't have any enemies, nor did he have any special experiences. This world is also a very ordinary modern world. This simple and boring setting actually cost me 500 origin points. Bien Gue. Long Tao. As for the others, they're all members of an outdoor club added by the original owner on a social networking app, and today is the day they decided to go out camping. But this whole camping trip is just a sorority these people came up with in order to date Jiang Xiaolan. Jiang Xiaolan. In other words, the original owner is really just the silly son of a rich family. According to the memory of Jiang Xiaolan's behavior, she's obviously a woman who's unbelievably proficient at making herself irresistible to men and simultaneously an expert at seducing the guys in the entire club. TL note, literally beheading men 3 times over. Beheading men refers to anything that has the characteristics of making women irresistible to men, e.g. makeup, clothes, beauty, etc. Bien Gue, you're too good at this. I'm a little scared. Leaving the hoe aside for now, why don't I see what the quest is? Loading quest. Lin Feng, the ghost king who had been deceased for 1,000 years, has been reborn inside one of his descendants, only to find him destitute, begging for a living and calling a hovel for his home for years on end. On the other hand, the descendants of his former servants are celebrated and lead voluptuous lives. The ghost king, in his rage, vowed to kill all the servants who betrayed their lord. TL note, literally, dazzling with paper and gold. Issuing quest, exterminate the ghost king, Lin Feng, within half a year. During that time don't leave the city of Xiaoshui or else the quest fails. Upon completion of the quest, you can return with all the power you've gained in this world, otherwise you'll get nothing. What the devil? Why does the setting for this quest look so stupid? System, you're getting more and more amusing. Wasn't it Lu Ren who was going to tell one next? Hey, didn't he say he was going to the toilet? Why isn't he back yet? Usually, I possess either a victim or a villain, never a character who has nothing to do with the story. Perhaps I'm one of those servant descendants who's waiting to be killed by the Ghost King. Pant. Pant. What's that sound? But in the original owner's memory, there's nothing about any ghosts or gods in this world. It's very odd. Pant, it hurts. It can't be, it really hurts. It's Lu Ren. The ghost doll from the story. Ah. Cian, I. Thud. Hey, you dodged. Why'd you fall down? Cian? Huh? Xiaolan fell down? Hey. Turn on the lights. Come on. Get the medical kit, her knees are bleeding. Xiaolan, are you okay? Don't be afraid. It's all props. They're fake. What do you two think you're doing? Acting? What would you have done if someone got hurt because of your antics? Wasn't this your idea, Bien Gue? You, fine, just blame it on me. And you, Cian. I saw it all just now. Xiaolan was about to fall over, but instead of catching her, you dodged? When I saw the quest just now, I got a little excited, but I just happened to encounter this prank, so I subconsciously prepared to fight using the finger of flowery swords. Fortunately, I've just entered this world and haven't had time to retrain my martial arts, or else I would have accidentally killed someone. I have something else to do, so I'll be going. I'd better go home and check my family tree to see if one of my ancestors' names was Lin Feng. I must get a thorough understanding of the entire context. What do you mean you're leaving already? Just forget about him. It's more important to check up on Xiaolan's injury. Origin points obtained anger, 0.01 points Lu Ren. Origin points obtained anger, 0.01 points Lu Ren. Origin points obtained anger, 0.01 points Long Tao. Origin points obtained anger, 0.01 points Long Tao. They're all really die-hard fans of that hoe, but someone's missing. Looks like fellow classmate Bian Gui doesn't like Jiang Xiaolan that much. Thanks so much for the origin points. Xie Yan just went up and left. What the hell is up with that? Let's beat it too. Xiaolan, want to go for a spin with me? I brought my family's BMW X12 today. I've got stuff to do tomorrow, so forget about the ride. Isn't Xie Yan usually so coy? But how come his expression looked so manly just now? But I'd like you to take me home later, Long Tao. I don't know how many times he's bragged about his BMW, but he's nothing compared to Xie Yan. I found out by accident that his family is filthy rich and his looks, I've definitely got to get my hands on him. Xiaolan, I drove my car here too. Get in my car. You're not afraid of upsetting Xiaolan with that beat-up car of yours? It's been a long time since I've driven a car. It's a good thing there aren't many people on the road this late at night, so I can let myself go. I was in such a trance that I almost thought I was back on Earth. Having traveled through several worlds, modern civilization remains my favorite indeed. But this time, in addition to limiting the geographical scope, the system has given half a year for the quest, so it seems that the difficulty isn't small. As one would expect of a world worth 500 origin points, the difficulty is certainly high, eh? Was that a hallucination, or a ghost? What a pain, there are really ghosts. I've only fought people, not these things. Meanwhile, what was that just now? It was gone in a flash, probably just a bat. Don't be scared, Xiaolan. But there really was some kind of shadow floating across the front of the car. The ritual has been completed. Now, it's time to reap the harvest to the fullest. One day later. First. 2 days later. Someone fell off the building. Look on the 26th floor. The balcony railing is broken. What shoddy construction. Second. Xie Yan's house. I purposely went through the family tree and even called the original owner's parents who are on vacation overseas, but got no clues and was scolded for staying up late reading online blogs. But after Googling the name Lin Feng, I must say, what a name for a main character. The god of war Lin Feng returned home only to find out that his fiancée was unjustly sent to her grave. At his command, 100,000 retired officers and soldiers raced to his side and shouted, "Tiger General, please lead us once more." TL note, God of War Lin Feng might be a pun on the MC of the Manhwa god of martial arts. TL note, literally leave the mountain. Figuratively to leave retirement and take a government post or become an official, Lin Feng, who's living at his wife's parents' house, is looked down upon with contempt by his mother-in-law and deemed to be a parasite, but to everyone's surprise, one of the country's richest and most influential men kneel down at his sight and call him Lord Lin. TL note, literally white eye, refers to when one's whites are revealed when rolling lip one's eyes in disdain or contempt. TL note, literally eat soft rice, refers to someone who lives off a woman. TL note, this is probably a pun for another MC named Lin Feng. These are all some kind of gibberish novels, forget it, let me just keep practicing the divine impact of Zen. When you're just off the boat, getting yourself a reflective armor is the way to go. Sigh, every time I cross over, except for the finger of Nirvana, I have to practice all my martial arts again, which is a complete waste of both my energy and origin points. System, can't you be a little bit more humane? Skill Mastery, Yang Strengthening Method. Current level, LV2 level cap exceed. Whilst the subject is in a state of soul crossing, the use of skills from the main body will be disabled. Skill Mastery, Fist of God. Current level, LV4 level cap exceed. Whilst the subject is in a state of soul crossing, the use of skills from the main body will be disabled. Skill Mastery, Ultimate Demonic Bliss Technique. Current level, LV6 level cap exceed. Whilst the subject is in a state of soul crossing, the use of skills from the main body will be disabled. Skill Mastery, Divine Impact of Zen. Current level, LV6 level cap exceed. Whilst the subject is in a state of soul crossing, the use of skills from the main body will be disabled. Skill Mastery, Finger of Flowery Swords. Current level, LV3. Whilst the subject is in a state of soul crossing, the use of skills from the main body will be disabled. Skill Mastery, Finger of Nirvana. Current level, LV3. Current effect, can cure all injuries and diseases in low-level worlds. Completely restores people to their peak state. Its effectiveness weakens in middle and high-level worlds. Once my break is over, I'll go back to my room and grind all night to practice Divine Impact of Zen up to the entry level. The Divine Impact of Zen is a fusion of skills, so its practice is vastly different from the Heavenly Guard, but I've finally managed to reach the entry level. System panel, come out. Upgrade the Divine Impact of Zen over the level cap. The original owner is just an ordinary person, so the tempering of the flesh by martial arts is even more severe, but his endurance is so poor that I feel even more bloated now than when I first upgraded the Heavenly Guard. I feel like I'm pregnant with couplets at least. However, the Divine Impact of Zen actually requires 240 origin points to go over the level cap, 100 more than needed for the Heavenly Guard. As expected of a fused skill, it's more expensive. System level, LV2. Name, Cian. Realm, Acquired Realm 3rd layer. Skill Mastery, Expand. Origin points, 7.78771. I've advanced to the 3rd layer of the Acquired Realm. Finally, I have some self-protection. There aren't many origin points left, but in a modern world, it won't be hard to harvest them, so I just need to think of a quick and easy way to do it. The thunder strikes, the cultivator's trial is most divine, the pure gold hammer is a sight to behold, the brilliant aura is let loose, the arcane flames are invoked, the menacing highest heaven sword is born. TL note. These the first 2 lines of a song composed by rapper Gui Long. The song is pretty much a jumble of nice words put together, so there isn't much to go on, but one possible interpretation is that a high-end cultivator makes the heavenly tribulation thunder strike his divine hammer. He then uses his sacred flames to transform it into a sword. According to legend, the pure gold hammer was a national treasure of the emperor of the Song dynasty that had been kept in the royal family since it was unearthed. But the pure gold hammer wasn't a simple weapon, since it harbored the evil spirit of a golden armored general. At that time, Shujo was suffering from famine, and in order to help the people survive it, Emperor Taizu of the Song dynasty bestowed it to a young prince. However, the demon hidden in the hammer caused the prince's temperament to drastically change, and instead of relieving the victims, he unbridledly exploited the people. When he learned of this, Bajing finally vanquished the golden armored general, an incarnation of a demon with the imperial sword. What the hell is this phone ringing? I'll have to change it later, huh? Jiang Xiaolan's calling? Jiang Xiaolan incoming phone call decline. I want to see you, come right away, otherwise, I'll kill myself. When and where? Something's wrong. She's got a very panicked tone, no, one could even say it's fear. 1 hour later. So handsome, come on, take some more shots. Hey, you can't turn on your phone's beauty cam app yet, otherwise the photo will get distorted. He's so good looking that beauty cam doesn't even know how to feminize him. TL note, literally attractiveness index is too much to take. I've met a few girls in my past life who've coerced me with suicide in an attempt to date me. But the Jiang Xiaolan in the original owner's memory isn't a character who would do such a thing. But I haven't been able to find any clues related to the quest, so anyone or anything suspicious is worth seeing. Xiaoyan, I'm here. That's his girlfriend? You can't be serious. That girl is as scary as a ghost. He won't let me go, he just won't leave me alone. Long Tao is dead, and Lu Ren is too. It's my turn next. Both dead? I don't want to die. I just don't want to die. Xiaoyan, help me. I heard him say that if I kill you, I can atone for my sins. I don't want to die. Xiaoyan, die in my stead. Who's this guy you're talking about? I don't know. I just don't know. Ah. Xiaoyan, why won't you just drop dead? I'll kill you. I'll kill you. Jiang Xiaolan, calm down a bit. Something bad has happened. Why did that big piece of glass suddenly fall down? Hey, over there. With my divine impact of Zen, what could a physical attack like this do to me? However, I couldn't protect Jiang Xiaolan. She was in such a panic that she fell onto the shattered glass and it pierced her through her heart. Ah! Someone's dead. Call the police. Blood, blood. Ordinary people's bodies are so fragile that not even the finger of Nirvana can save her now. Sigh, so useless in that case. The third one is Jiang Xiaolan. Who's talking? Xiaoyan, you are the last one. Look forward to tomorrow. Playing mystery, huh? But I already know who you are. Origin points obtained avarice, 0.01 points Bien Gui's ghost. Origin points obtained avarice, 0.01 points Bien Gui's ghost. Origin points obtained avarice, 0.1 points Bien Gui's ghost. Origin points obtained avarice, 0.01 points Bien Gui's ghost. It's Bien Gui, and he's turned into a ghost. 3 hours later. Mr. Xie, the police have determined that it was an accident. Thank you for your cooperation. It's our duty as good citizens to cooperate with the police. I finally managed to straighten things out with the police. I'm a victim too. Origin points obtained avarice, 0.00001 points Bien Gui's ghost. 0.00001 points. Looks like the ghost left, though it didn't stay long. That guy is literally an origin point perpetual machine. It's been really awesome getting spammed by it every now and then for the past few hours. Although I'm not sure what's the relationship between Bien Gui and Lin Feng, the Ghost King from the quest, and why it attacked me, its emotion towards me is avarice, not hatred. So I must have something that it desires. Night. In a sudden accident that occurred downtown, the glass curtain wall of a building fell off, killing a woman surnamed Jiang on the spot. The news that Jiang Xiaolan, Long Tao, and Lu Ren had died in an accident soon made the headlines. According to the original owner's memory, the founder of the outdoor club was Bien Gui. And all of the victims were roped in after getting acquainted with him. Too bad I couldn't find any details about him. This Bien Gui is very mysterious. Tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. Tick, it's midnight. According to Bien Gui, he should be here by now. Origin points obtained avarice, 0.01 points Bien Gui's ghost. Here he is, right on schedule. Hey, brother Bien Gui, can you hear me? If you can, just meow. I'm the only one in the whole house right now, so if there's any problem, can't we settle it face to face? Well, if he can hear me, then we can communicate. As a descendant of a servant who betrayed their master, you can even sense me, so you're indeed the most special one. I guess I was right to save you for last. No matter where you are, just by looking at my face, you can tell that I'm pretty special. Is there anyone this handsome? My hunch was right. This guy is definitely the target of my quest. But shouldn't his name be Lin Feng? So why is his name Bien Gui? The quest prompt showed that Lin Feng was reborn inside one of his descendants. Maybe Bien Gui is his descendant? I need to pry as much information as possible from it. Brother, what era do you think we're living in? There's no such thing as masters or servants, except when it comes to kinky activities. But now that you mentioned it, I have to ask, are all those who died descendants of servants who betrayed their master like me? Brother, speak up. Since a high-altitude falling object won't kill you, how about a natural gas explosion? Huh? Is that the smell of natural gas? I was trying to scoop some information out of you, but I didn't expect. You were stalling for time, waiting for the gas to leak all over my house. Still, you wanted to kill me with this type of minor mishap? Find a nuclear bomb and drop it on my head if you have the guts. But seeing as you can only play these little accidents, I know that your ability is limited to these plebeian tactics. Origin points obtained anger, 0.01 points Bien Gui's ghost origin points obtained anger, 0.01 points Bien Gui's ghost origin points obtained anger, 0.01 points Bien Gui's ghost. How impudent. He's spamming me so intensely. It looks like what I just said was very provocative. You're just a mere servant, how dare you? You're a wandering soul, yet you dare manifest your true form? Go back to the netherworld. As expected, the power system in this world is really different. My punch can pulverize hard objects, TL note, literally smash metal and crack stone. Ha ha ha, is that what you were counting on? How could I be hurt by a martial artist's moves? It didn't do any damage to it. Hitting a ghost with a physical attack really is useless. Struggle. The more you struggle, the more you fear, the more you will nourish me. This is your fate as a descendant of the Sia family. It escaped? It must be restricted to one accident a day, otherwise it would have continued to haunt me. However, let alone fighting, if it didn't manifest itself, I wouldn't have even been able to see it, so I would have just been pummeled one-sidedly, which isn't cool. There's no reason to be on guard every day, but if there are ghosts in this world, then there must be ghost hunters. TL note, this is the second part of the proverb: if there's a thief for 1,000 days, then there must be a guard for 1,000 days. The implied meaning is that it is difficult to always be on the lookout for someone, since there will always be a time of negligence. In the next few days, Bien Gue would appear by my side from time to time, causing all sorts of unexpected accidents in an attempt to dispose of me. Of course, to me, who's mastered the divine impact of Zen, this was basically just fluff. However, his intrusions made it impossible for me to find girls to practice the finger of flowery swords with. TL note, literally a drizzle, figuratively a mere trifle. The good news is that days like this should be coming to an end soon. The Ghost Hunter Grandmaster I asked the Sia family's butler, Lao Guan, to hire has finally arrived, and I must say, it's really nice to have money, since I can do anything I want. Sia Yan's new villa. Feng Shui Grandmaster. Black Dragon King. Shengun. Grandmaster Shengui took the trouble of traveling such a long way to come to our aid. We're truly most grateful. Please come on in. Butler Lao Guan. No unconcerned individuals should be present during my master's intervention, except for the victim. Anyone else should leave immediately. The Black Dragon King's disciple by Ming Ming. The Grandmaster has come from afar, so someone has to entertain him, and it wouldn't be very proper to leave the young master alone. Commoners who don't understand the power and taboos of us cultivators shouldn't think that they can negotiate terms with us. After all, this is just a business deal for us. But for you, it's a matter of total annihilation. Well, forgive him, Grandmaster, but Lao Guan meant no ill will. After all, I've been surprisingly lucky to be haunted and yet managing to avert all peril. My butler is concerned about the situation, too, yet overly so, and wants to personally witness me out of this plight. Young man, are you questioning me? I wouldn't dare. It's just that the Grandmaster's disciple said this is business, so you should naturally show some sincerity, otherwise how can we trust the Grandmaster? The attitude of this pair of master and pupil is very domineering, but I don't know if they have the kind of real capability I want. Humph. Innate energy? No, it's just plain wind. Still, there seems to be something wrapped around me. And it's alive. What Xia Yan can't see. How about that, young man? Young master, are you all right? My guardian spirit just gave you a greeting. I hope it didn't scare you. Lao Guan, take the others to the hotel. No one is to be left here except me, the Grand Master and his disciple. I understand. Take care, young master. Surely the Grand Master jests. We've been standing outside for this long, so we'd better go inside. A guardian spirit? Is it some kind of spiritual being? I couldn't see it at all, so I suppose it's similar to a ghost. Excellent, there are other supernatural powers in this world besides ghosts, but I wonder if I can learn them? The Grand Master should be aware that I almost died in an accident triggered by a ghost. Although I miraculously survived, I don't know when the ghost will return, so I hope you can help me out of my dire misery. TL note, literally broken away from the sea of bitterness. No problem, I'll cast a spell. To help you see the ghost coming. Master, why did the beads crack? This has never happened before. Could it be that the ghost that plagues this house is a wraith? Will K-Way be able to stand up against it? A huge 10 million deal like this is hard to come by. The ghost isn't even here right now anyway, so let's put on a show, get the money and scram. Grandmaster, something wrong? Nothing. I was just discussing the details about the ghost hunt with my disciple. Young man, your situation is beyond my expectations. I'll have to pay a much higher price to save you. As for the reward, triple it. No sweat. Dean, you have received 30 million in your account. Master, he's fucking loaded. Do you think I should just throw myself at him? It's always been your disciple's dream to marry a rich man. Stop fooling around, we'll talk after the act. You two, be a little more reliable, will you? If you can't, I'll make you cough up 30 times more than the amount you took from me. I may not be able to beat up ghosts, but I'm quite familiar with beating up people. TL note, literally a light carriage on a familiar road. Figuratively something one knows well and can manage with ease. Ahem, I admire straightforward men such as yourself. We'll start the ghost hunt immediately. Young man, stand back. If you notice any unusual activity, don't panic. Disciple, come swiftly to uphold the Buddha's teachings on behalf of your master. Coming. Ho! I have checked with my yin and yang eyes, and there are no evil spirits in this house, so the cracking of the beads must have been triggered by the negative energy and resentment attached to the young man. Almighty Heavenly Dragon, venerable guardian of the earth, wise Buddhas, wise seekers of enlightenment. Anyway, we've already swindled him out of his money, so we'll just fool around and scram. If we really helped him hunt an evil spirit such as this one, it would take ages to replenish our spiritual power. Flying dragon in the sky. TL note, a metaphor for the reign of an emperor that originated in Ji Chang's classic The Book of Changes. You're still here, malevolent spirit? You're really looking down on me. Master, I'll give you a hand. The more I see, the more unreliable they get. Origin points obtained avarice, 0.01 points Bien Gui's ghost. Origin points obtained avarice, 0.01 points Bien Gui's ghost. Bien Gui is here. Master, what strong negative energy. Keep your guard up. Master, it's up there. It's coming straight at us. How troublesome. Couldn't this wraith come back after we'd left? TL note, these characters are using two distinct terms to refer to Bien Gui's ghost. ES is a feral fierce ghost who's formed by burning hatred against the world, is a malicious formidable ghost who has a grudge against the world. Now we can't leave even if we want to, I'm going to use my true abilities. Be careful, disciple. Obey at once, Lord Flood Dragon K-Way. Listen to my summons. Turn into a dragon and devour the ghost. The Grandmaster's demeanor has completely changed. He's practically a different person than before. It seems he's finally showing his true abilities. I still can't see anything. Is he in the middle of fighting? I don't have yin and yang eyes, so I can only watch them trade blows in thin air. Shamans? Master, the ghost spoke. Damn it, this wraith is even sentient. It'll be very hard to deal with it, but K-Way won't be. It's really a flood dragon guardian spirit. What a pleasant surprise. That easy to deal with either. K-Way. It's actually devouring my guardian spirit. Among the guardian spirits, dragons are the top class. Even if this is only a flood dragon, its power is still exceptional. Too bad you don't know how to use it, and since you can't unleash its power, it'll be better off inside my belly restoring my strength. Choose. Ugh. Cough, cough, are you all right, Master? Shit. How could there be such a strong wraith? K-Way was slain in a single blow. Locking ghost energy? As long as a shaman lives, his guardian spirit shall not perish. The flood dragon spirit is inside you. Only if you die can I devour it whole. This isn't good, I'm being locked. I can't die. In that case, I'll have to sacrifice you, disciple. Master, what are you doing? Transfer. Pant to pant. Ha ha ha, it worked. It doesn't matter if my life gets shortened by using that secret technique, or if my disciple dies, as long as I live, I can get them all back again, so it's fine. A futile struggle. Death is the only place you can go to. Am I going to die? In 1,000 years, shamans have surprisingly been reduced to such shameful wretches. TL note, literally better kept under the table. TL note, literally a family that has gone down in the world. That being so, disappear from history once and for all. I still haven't found a rich, handsome young guy to fall in love with yet. I haven't even saved up enough money in my piggy bank. I don't want to die. You're fucking tearing down my house again and even murdering people right in front of me? Bien Gue, you mongrel, can't you play any other stunts? This slicker isn't an ordinary person? TL note, this term is used to describe someone with more money than sense. Other stunts? Perfect timing. Having regained some of my power, let me open your eyes. You backstabbing lowly slave. Oh, no. The wraith has possessed him. Then rumor has it that the little girl's resentment has lingered on that doll and never faded away. What's going on? Did I go back to square one? Yet anyone unlucky enough to see that cursed doll will be hanged without fail. I can smell the candles burning, and these people look real, so did I go back in time? Or did I fall into a dreamland? Bien Gue, you're too good at this. I'm a little scared. Let me get out of here and have a look. Wasn't it Lu Ren who was going to tell one next? Hey, didn't he say he was going to the toilet? Why isn't he back yet? Xian, why are you leaving? You haven't even gotten to your scene yet. The game hasn't even started yet, so how can the main character leave the stage? Brother Bien Gue, so it's really you who has been screwing around. The ancestors of the Xia family had to respectfully address me as master whenever they saw me, so as their descendant, you, Xia Yan, are being far too presumptuous. Big bro, slavery's been dead for centuries. Can't you just rest in peace underground? Besides, wouldn't you say that guy's name is Lin Feng? Isn't your name Bien Gue? Bien Gue is Lin Feng, but Lin Feng is not Bien Gue. The hell? Can't you be more specific? One can't speak of such things with beings who have such a narrow worldview. Originally, you were meant to be the last sacrifice and had no choice but to die, yet that flood dragon guardian spirit just now was of great benefit to me, and your existence is no longer crucial, so I mercifully changed my mind. TL note, literally a summer insect which doesn't live winter can't talk about ice. It's a saying from Zhuangzi outer chapter The Floods of Autumn. The idea of this saying is that there would be no point in telling an insect about winter when it only lives in summer. It wouldn't understand what ice was even if you told it about it. Xie Yin, your body and soul are very special. I can give you a chance to submit to my rule anew. Sai, sleep if you've got nothing better to do. You can dream of anything you want there. Bien Gue, oh, Bien Gue, if you have the ability, then just do it. Who do you think you can scare with all this crap? This is the abyss of nightmares, the place where souls plunge into oblivion, where ordinary people can only completely fall into depravity, but you've managed to stay lucid, which is very impressive. I'm becoming more and more interested in you. Too bad, I'm not interested in you in the least. I'll kill you, son of a bitch. It's no use. As I told you, this is the abyss of nightmares. No matter how strong your body may be, it has no significance here. The abyss of nightmares has its own playing rules, so if you won't submit your allegiance, then simply plummet into depravity here. You'll be consumed by a nightmare fear until you fully expire. In fact, you're already being eaten away without even knowing it. Audacious fiend. I'll expose your true colors. Manifestation technique. Finger of Nirvana. What? How is this possible? Is this my spirit body? I used the finger of Nirvana in line with the idea of keep trying everything even in the most desperate of situations, but I never imagined it would really work. You were even able to abolish the nightmare fear. Don't tell me you're a shaman too? No, that's not right. There was no fluctuation of spirit energy in that finger, so how the hell did this happen? It seems like I'm feeling the presence of my physical body. Have I returned to reality? Hey, why is the ground so bouncy? Could it be that the finger of Nirvana didn't work and I'm still in the abyss of nightmares? So heavy, I can't breathe. It's the Grandmaster's disciple. She's not dead yet. It looks like she's still breathing. Your soul is stronger than I ever imagined. You were actually able to return to your body. That's just how cool I am. You have a problem with that? So be it. Since I devoured that flood dragon spirit, I'll need time to digest it. I hope you'll still be as cocky as you are today in 3 months. Origin points obtained avarice, 0.00001 points Bien Gui's ghost. That bastard's on the run again? Pant. The one I duped? Did you get killed by the ghost too? Where is this? The Netherworld? Ha ha ha, it's really nice to have the company of a handsome man on the way to hell. I can't let her die, or there'll be no way to learn about the supernatural powers of this world known as Tong Ling. Wasn't she hit with something called locking ghost energy? Excellent, the finger of Nirvana is working. I knew I should have had a good time while I was alive. I was even blessed with a pair of big tits, but I died without doing anything. Such a waste. I say, miss, do you even know what nonsense you're rambling on about? Eh? I'm not dead. You were meant to have died, but I'm a martial artist, and I know a healing technique that saved your life. The ghost energy is gone, I'm not missing any parts, and I still have my boobs. I'm really not dead. Benefactor. I have nothing of value to repay for your grace of saving my life, so I have no choice but to toil like a beast of burden in my next life. TL note, a term of endearment for one who has done good to oneself. TL note, literally to work like an ox or a horse. Figuratively to work extremely hard. In your next life? Dream on, you'll repay me in this one. But I'm broke. Who wants your money? Am I short on it? Here's the deal, if you're willing to be my personal shaman advisor and do your best to meet my needs, not only will you repay the favor, but I'll also give you half of my fortune. Deal. Sorry, I was so excited I almost forgot the main issue. What's wrong? Half a fortune is a lot of money. Wait. Did you find something out? Benefactor, I have some unfortunate news for you. The lifespan of your soul is running out. your death is not far. Hey, girl, don't be an alarmist. Are you trying to get more money? I'm not. Listen to my explanation. To tell you the truth, I was born with yin and yang eyes. Not only can I see ghosts, but I can also see changes in a person's lifespan. When I first came here, I realized that something wasn't quite right with you, that there was a serious mismatch between the lifespan of your body and that of your soul, and that the life expectancy of your soul was far lower than that of your body. When you used that healing technique on me just now, I seem to have seen the lifespan of the benefactor's soul suddenly decrease by a fraction. Didn't you see that wrong? I can't say for sure what I felt while I was half awake. If you use that technique on me again, I'll infuse my spiritual energy into my eyes and take a careful look at you. Sure enough, I was right. Heals. Who taught you this technique? I clearly saw that when you used it, the lifespan of your soul was visibly shortened by a tiny fraction. This is using the lifespan of your soul to heal other people's wounds, and it faintly contains the litter compassion of if I don't go to hell, who will? Cracks. How much lifespan does my soul have left? Just give it to me straight. I can handle it. Litter compassion my ass. I previously thought the finger of Nirvana would heal my body and recover my energy without using up anything. There's no question it's a secret immortal method, so how could I know it was actually such an ungodly thing? It's the lifespan of my soul that's being used, which means it's not the body in this world, but me that's really going to die. Originally, the lifespan of the benefactor's soul was 120 years, but now, it only has 1 year left. The first time you treated me, you spent almost half a year of lifespan. The second time, when I was lightly wounded, you only spent 3 days, so the cost of this technique ought to depend on the severity of the other party's injuries. Benefactor, just how many times have you used it? How many times have I used it? I have no freaking clue either. I even used the finger of Nirvana for plastic surgery. To extract a confession, I've been fucking killing myself this entire time. TL note, literally make the island of luck known. Wordplay on don't know. Alas, if there was a way for you to have a few more years, you could have tried to become a shaman. As long as your talent was high enough to summon a mature guardian spirit, you could have been able to nourish your soul to increase its longevity. How does one become a shaman? With only 1 year of lifespan left, it'd be too late even if you started practicing tomorrow. Just help me out and don't worry about anything else. If it can be practiced, that means it's a skill of some sort. As long as it's a skill, I can learn the basics and use origin points to upgrade it to the max level. Benefactor, you have no idea that to become a shaman, it costs a lot of money and materials, and cultivating a guardian spirit to maturity within a year isn't something a normal shaman can do. You would have to be an unbelievable genius. TL note, literally not even one in tens of thousands. Rather than squandering your wealth in vain, why don't we pledge ourselves to each other, get the marriage certificate together, and enjoy some happiness before the benefactor's demise? You're delusional. You think you'd just conveniently inherit my possessions when I died? Ding, you have received 50 million in your account. At 50 million. 50 million yen. Here's some payment in advance. If it's not enough, I'll give you more. A problem that can be solved with money is no problem at all, and since I'm running out of time, it's all the more reason to make every second count. I must become a shaman immediately. Understood. I'll get right on it. My master's ledger, you know? It contains the contacts for sellers of all kinds of materials, so let me get masters. I almost forgot that shamans can communicate with the universe by connecting yin and yang, and after death, their bodies can easily become the element for all sorts of evil spirits. Therefore, after the passing of the former shaman, his physical body will be transformed into spiritual energy that will give back to the universe under a religious ceremony for the deceased carried out by his successors. Your master used you as a scapegoat, but you still care what happens to him after death. If I don't, it would be more annoying, since he would turn into a zombie or something of the sort. Even though he wasn't very nice to me, for all it's worth, we were still master and disciple, so I have to see him off on his final journey. Be a good man in your next life, master. Greedy as hell, but essentially, still a girl that has some standards. In this way, Bai Ming started to spend money in various ways to collect natural treasures for me. TL note, literally heavenly materials and earthly treasures, a term used in various novels to refer to rare plants or minerals with special properties. This South Sea blood jade has a base price of 2 million. Do I have any bidders? No more bargaining. 1.5 million. Who else would want this piece of junk but me? The lady benefactor has generously donated 300,000. May the Buddha bless you. You're too kind. I just want to ask for some incense. TL note, a term used by a monk to address a layperson. TL note, literally 300,000 sesame oil money. In ancient times, believers used to donate incense, candles, lamp oil, and gold to temples and monasteries for ritual purposes. However, later on, instead of in-kind donations, money was used as a substitute, hence the name sesame oil money. TL note, literally female believer. Catch that cat burglar. You can't forcibly buy what our ancestors left behind. Your family doesn't even make pills anymore, so you might as well sell the Zheng Yuan cauldron. I've left you 3 million in cash. TL note, literally rectify correct roots origin. Yin tortoise shell, primordial yang egg, high leather. A few days later, Xia Yan's new villa. This is the progenitor of the mysterious Yin decoration, which can help ordinary people comprehend how to communicate with spirits. Phew, help yourself while it's hot. Bankrolled, ahem, benefactor, take off your clothes and take a dip inside, then I'll recite the incantation for you and that will be it. You didn't just buy a bunch of random stuff to fool me and try to make off with my money, did you? What are you talking about? I even had to raise money out of my own pocket to make ends meet. All of them are of the highest quality, so I can guarantee you won't die a grisly death if it fails. Oh, and don't forget about my reimbursement. There's even the possibility of failure? Shamans are inherently unorthodox beings, so, of course, they wouldn't just succeed so casually. One can only depend on talent, luck, and character, nothing else. TL note, literally to be in defiance of the natural order. Phew, that looks disgusting, but time is running out, so I have to give it a try. Let's hope it doesn't fail. It's no big deal to lose some money, but who knows when that bastard Bien Gui will stage a comeback. It might not be necessarily true that he'll come back in 3 months, but if he does come after me again, I won't be able to do anything. Origin points obtained joy, 0.01 points by Ming. Oh, hee, abs. Eh? Hurry up and take them off. Get in there when you do. Turn around and wait until I get inside before turning back. I have to watch you so nothing bad happens to you. Have my fortune, I'll turn right away. It looks very creepy, but it's quite comfortable to bathe in. Bai Ming appears to be rather reliable. At the time when the Lord of Divinities and its treasures preached his scriptures, TL note, this is about 1/4 of the fine mantra of salvation and exemption of sins as told in the scripture of the Lord of Divinities and its treasures, a sutra praising Tai, the divine deity who rescues and saves all living beings from waywardness. TL note, Lingbao Tianzuan, one of the 3 pure ones who head some forms of the Taoist pantheon. It is associated with Yin and Yang and was responsible as the custodian of the sacred book. It also calculates time and divides it into different epochs.